When you're wrong, you're wrong. You know, you move on.
Hello.
Hello.
You're on there. Oh, I'm on.
You're on.
That was Reverend Jones, by the way, the unctuous Reverend Jones, your last caller.
That last guy was? Oh, maybe we can get familiar with his voice to keep that guy off.
Maybe we could hook him up with Joyce, and the two of them, we could get a package deal. You know?
I wouldn't, yeah, I would.
Yeah. I was thinking when I heard through the grapevine about your latest developments here, I'm thinking maybe you and a Mad Dog and I can, like, chip in for a hitman, you know? Couldn't be too much.
Why do I have to go through this? It's like... You know, I understand totally what Mad Dog is going through. I thought I had it done.
I went through the same thing.
I know.
I went through exactly the same thing. Let me just give you a little piece of advice, not that you need it from me. Just tell them to blow it out their ass. Do not sign any of that crap. And, you know, eventually she'll cave in like she did with me.
I mean, I should sign something that says that if I say something that's offensive to somebody...
Yeah, who ever heard of such
what
crap?
What does that mean, offensive?
And to show you how stupid she
Who's
is,
the
she's trying
judge?
to pull the same stuff with you guys that they pulled verbatim, word for word. This Joyce, this rhymes with witch and other things... she's got the Beasleys convinced that, she's going to save them from all of us dangerous people like these talk shows like us, as opposed to, you know, the book comes out on Friday. We get this tremendous book. We're making them money hand over fist if they could sell it, which they can't. But, and all they want to do is browbeat everybody. It's like some kind of a peeing contest.
I don't get it. I just, you know, and I also am not going for it.
No, of course not. Absolutely not.
I mean, this is, basically, it's the most one-sided document I've ever read. Other than a Ricky Williams column by, what's that?
I said, if you woke up in the morning on the wrong side of bed or came in and looked at somebody cross-eyed, you're fired. I mean, what kind of a contract is that?
Yeah.
Based on somebody's whim, especially in a place like that.
So were you at the Trump wedding?
No, I was at Woodbine.
Oh, better off, as they say.
Woodbine winning $1,200. Not too bad.
Not a bad. I had a good day, actually, betting Gulfstream up at Palm Beach Kennel Club.
And I know you want to apologize for, like everybody else, selling my Patriots short on Friday. That's okay.
That's okay. That happens.
Nobody gives them. They're like the Rodney Dangerfield of football. Nobody gives them any respect.
I respect them. I mean,
they just keep pounding the crap out of all these highly touted teams, the Colts, the Steelers. They just outplayed and outcoached them too. How about Cowher going for a field goal on 4th and 1.5?
Yeah, that's beyond me. Hey, his very first decision.
And then the Patriots get 4th and 1.5 late in the game, and they sew it up. They kill off for about 2.5 minutes of the clock by going for it and making it.
I'll tell you, the very first decision Cowher made in the game, going for it on 4th and 1 from the 39-yard line, was ridiculous too. To give them the ball there, when their defense can play.
Yeah, he did the ass backward when he shouldn't have done it. He did, and the other way around.
But I thought the game was over when Brady hit that first touchdown pass.
Right.
I mean, I didn't have to suffer. It was just. It was just.
Neither did I.
Yeah, I know you didn't, but I mean, it was over at that point, and.
I was hoping they'd play another quarter and get at least 60, 70 points, just, out of spite.
And even that, but you're right. When you have 4th down on the 2-yard line and you're 2 touchdowns behind in the fourth quarter.
Well, what kind of a wuss move was that to go
basically,
for a field
it's like going for a 2-point conversion. I mean, you got to do it.
Right.
And to have given, to take that field, it took all the starch out of that team.
Right.
At that point in the game,
they had momentum.
They
had
did.
Some momentum
They were stopping New England.
Right.
So, but you know what? I won 3 of my 4 props.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that.
They had the big Mo going. You know what I mean? The big Mo.
That guy. Anyway.
You know something? Yesterday we had a massive power failure in Toronto. Okay, because a water main burst yesterday morning about 7 o'clock. Freezing, just unbelievably freezing. So I can't watch the first game on TV. So I'm listening on radio. Now, who's the guy? Is it Al Wester who did that first game?
No, I don't think he works anymore.
I don't know who. This guy was really bad. And then he's promoting the fact Marv Albert's going to be doing the Patriots-Steeler game.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, if somebody weren't such a hard ass, he could have been doing that second game. I don't want to mention any names. Somebody used to work for Westwood One.
I remember him, yeah.
Yeah, but he is not there anymore because everywhere he goes, it's the same deal. To know him is to hate him. Kind of like Joyce. Maybe he could elope with Joyce.
He has a wife.
Yeah.
He's not going to
get something going. Or maybe at least he can send her the muskrat. Wouldn't that be a good theme song for Mo, the Muskrat Ramble? You got to give me credit for that. I'm the guy that embarrassed him out of ditching the muskrat, just like I did with Steve Ziegler at IOD.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that Steve did that.
Yeah.
Well, what little I have is mine.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you.
I could say the same thing, but I'm not talking about hair.
I know.
Well, listen, don't spend it all in one place.
Spend what? I have no contract.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your winnings from the weekend.
Oh, I did well with the Gulfstream card on Saturday, actually. But you know something? You talked about the announcer there. And I'm alive in the pick six after 4 races. And I've got a horse who's on top by 2 lengths as they get to the top of the lane. And as soon as he said, he's like Mush in the Bronx Tale. As soon as he said, he's the strong horse coming down the stretch, and he's extending his lead, and I'm looking at the horse shortening stride, and I just took my ticket and ripped it up.
But I do like his frozen meals, though.
Hey, you have a nice afternoon, whatever.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Stay warm.
Maybe we'll give Joyce a shot, too, while we're at it. Just in the leg to wake her up. Don't do it, Hank. Don't do it. Don't bend, don't yield.
Not to worry.
There you go. See ya.
See ya.
Oh! MONTAYSUCKS. Well, when I went outside, I almost died. My butt froze from the inside. It's 16 below. Damn, it's cold.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, if you care, I froze my nose hair. When you step out, you better beware. It's 16 below. Damn, it's cold. I'm dying over here. Freeze your toesies, freeze your nose. Guys, watch out for your door. Go hose. Attention, ladies, listen up. You may go from a D to a B cup, 'cause it's colder than hell, and here's how you can tell. I dropped my keys and they never fell. It's 16 below. Damn, it's cold.
10:05 at 560 WQM. Happy Monday to you. Although this is supposed to be the most depressing day of the year. Do you know that?
What, because of the Johnny thing?
Oh, and I forgot to mention to Hank about Roger Dangine died. Got killed.
Who?
Jockey. A long-time South Florida jockey. Something you wouldn't know about.
Right.
Something really important. And, of course, the big news, which I told you on Friday, you heard it right here first. So I guess it's my fault, huh?
It is your fault.
Okay.
As usual.
Okay. Yeah. Remember I was reading that story and I kept going, and I couldn't figure out why. I kept playing that theme song Friday. I had the story from the Inquirer, and I saved it because it was such an important story. Isn't that why I saved it?
No.
Oh, no, I saved it because the picture of Miguel from Passions, who's on that Desperate Housewife show, is on the other side. Stark naked, just about. At any rate, on the other side, Johnny Carson's secret medical emergency. We had it for you right here first, okay? So when somebody's dying or on the verge of it, you'll hear it here first. You know what I mean, Joyce? The bullet. What? Oh, no, listen, seriously, if she had like an embolism or something, I mean, we'd have a party. I'd actually fly down and I'd cater the party. I'd spring for big bucks to celebrate that. The way that they're browbeating the talent, man. You know, this crap about Greg comes in here on Friday. Oh, be sure and tell Neil congratulations on a great book. Yeah, thanks very much, by the way, Greg, for jerking me around and lying through your teeth. And thanks for the way that your corporate is treating all the other people on the air. It's kind of like this is an automated radio station. I see Barry Jackass has got that column about so-called 1400, a sports station that nobody ever heard of before, is blowing off all the local talent because they can't make payroll. You think we got no spots, you can imagine what they're selling. Not even $1 a holler. So just browbeat all the talent, man. This is what I keep telling you. That's why the people listen to this radio station. Not because of Joyce Fitch, not because they love the Beasleys and their corncob, whatever they're doing over there with them, or because they love Greg Reed, or Muff Lindsay, or Clarence, who's out sick again today. Probably got a bad dose of something from the beast. No, it's because of the talent, man. I ought to keep playing. I ought to play a loop of that all day long. You know, it's the talent.
Okay. Until they
get
I
won't. Well, no, because it takes a shot at Hank in there, too, the humper. But that's okay. Well, because back in the day, he was one of the sports nerds on IOD. Him and Joseph Gacky. Johnny Carson is dead, and it's just, I don't want to pee on everybody's parade, okay?
Another piece of my childhood. And, you know, I used to watch him with my mother. I remember she used to stay up late every night and watch the Johnny Carson show and the Late Late Show. And
I mean, you really don't want to say what you really feel because they're, oh, gee, the guy died. He's a legend. Okay. I just was never a big fan of his. After growing up watching Steve Allen and Jack Paar, to me, what Johnny Carson did on The Tonight Show was like pedestrian at best and just overrated at worst. I mean, highly overrated. And now the guy's dead. But at least the one good thing I'll give him for is, like, after he retired, he went out on top, didn't hang on too long. And then when he retired, he went into the background and enjoyed his life, whatever he could, while he was dying of emphysema and drinking and smoking up a storm. And that's it. He stayed out of everybody's face. Like Andy Williams, there's another guy. Stays out of your face, right?
Right. I haven't seen him.
No. He has that golf tournament, I guess, or at least he used to every now and then. That's it. And he just stays out of your face. That's the way to do it, instead of keep coming back and popping up, hawking some kind of crap like Cheetos or some garbage, you know? And then Jay Leno was paying tribute there. And, of course, up until he croaked, Carson was writing comedy bits for Letterman. He was writing jokes for Letterman because he wanted Letterman to beat the crap out of Jay Leno.
Right.
Because he realized that Jay Leno was garbage, just a walking chin. In fact, Jay Leno ought to be Chinese, wouldn't you think? Yeah, he's one of those 8 million chins in the New York phone book. God, can't stand Jay Leno. I don't want to start bitter, though, because this is the most depressing day of the year. We got that story. Got a lot of stories. Johnny Carson, late-night TV legend, dies at 79. You know how many years he hosted The Tonight Show?
30.
About 30, man.
Died Sunday of emphysema. All you punks out there that are smoking those faggots, let me tell you right now, Johnny should be a lesson to all of you, okay? What was that?
My emphysema.
Oh. He passed away yesterday morning. Carson's nephew, Jeffrey Sotzing, told CNN, no memorial service, no big dog and pony show. He is a private guy, want to be left the hell alone. And I like that. More power to him. Nice going, Johnny. Even though your show I thought was marginal. Carson, a longtime smoker, was 79, announced in 2002 that he was suffering from the disease. He was hosted a late-night talk show from October 1st, 62 to May 22nd, 1992, taking over from Jack Paar. He couldn't lick Jack Parr's ass. And handing off to Jay Leno after 4,531 episodes. It's a sad day for his family and for the country. Late Show host David Letterman said in a statement yesterday, he was the best, a star and a gentleman. That's what he said. Carson kept a low profile after leaving The Tonight Show in 92. He's been greatly missed since his retirement, Letterman said. Thank God for videotapes and DVDs. In this regard, he'll always be around. He was born John William Carson, October 23rd, 1925, in Corning, Iowa. I didn't even know there was a Corning, Iowa, did you?
Yeah, the Corning at Sure It's Special.
There's Corning in New York, where they make that glass. Rhymes with... He's survived by his fourth wife, Alexis, and sons Christopher and Corey from his first marriage to Joan Jody Walcott. Another son, Richard, died in a car accident in 91. Despite decades on television, Carson was never open publicly with details of his personal life. Nobody got to know him, said comedian Joan Rivers, who often substituted him for Carson as blah, 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 blah. He was very private. Well, good. I like that. And it goes on about how he did this and he did that. He was an announcer in Lincoln, Nebraska. He had a show called Carson's Cellar. Famed clown Red Skelton hired Carson as a writer, put him on as a host on live TV when Skelton was injured during a rehearsal. Johnny Carson's show spent 39 weeks on CBS in 55-56. He did the quiz show Who Do You Trust on ABC and met Ed McMahon, who became Carson's butt-licking sidekick until he retired from The Tonight Show 35 years later. Here's Johnny.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah. Here's Johnny. That was it. Nice going, Ed. Talk about making a career out of, like, kissing ass, man. Even Larry King.
Oh, we're fine.
Never kissed so much ass. And, of course, Larry wasting no time to have a panel on last night. Here's our panel, okay? Here's our panel. Johnny Carson croaked. Here's our panel. We got a panel. Man, oh, man. I'm telling you, I think right along with Joyce, maybe Larry King could be in the same accident.
Oh.
On the same bus, that would be. Oh, I can't see Larry taking a bus. I can see Joyce on the bus back to Maryland would be good. We'd pay the Greyhound people. I'd even fill it up with gas. 12 minutes after 10 at 5:60. Well, let's, before we do the break, here's the result of Friday's poll. What historical event you least believe could have happened? Re-election of George W. Bush out of 2,000-plus votes wins hands down your pants, 726. I mean, who could believe that? What rational person could believe that? That anybody with an IQ larger than their digit could possibly vote for a lunatic, for a crazy person, for a lying, pathological, dry-drunk maniac who's killing thousands and thousands of innocent people. But anyway, the re-election of George W. Bush, it did happen, 726, so they tell us. The resurrection of Jesus was a distant second, 391. O.J. gets acquitted, 235. 9/11, 176. Noah's Ark, 116. QAM gets its act together, 97. Call us and let us know when that's going to happen. Red Sox win the World Series, 63. The Holocaust, 49. Man walks on the moon, 48. Mike Piazza gets married, 44. It's happening any day in South Florida. Mo Howard flips his wig, 24. Ricky Williams leaves football, 23. The Heat get 22. The Assassinations of the 60s, 12. The QM Fall Ratings Book, 11, which, by the way, IOD got a real bogus with a lot of Wired Diaries December. You're not fooling anybody, Rush, or anybody else over there. A real bogus right-wing December. Otherwise, we'd have really kicked ass. We did great, but we would have done super, super, super great if it wouldn't have been for a phony December. Rush, Petey, all you phonies over there at IOD. And by the way, I'm not going to knock Cheap Channel anymore, because after what the Beasleys are doing to all of us, who the hell are we to knock anybody else in the business, right?
Right.
The Beasleys make Clear Channel look like a bunch of benevolent, kind old something coots. Well, they have the last part, and the Vietnam War had only 4. So there you go. It's 10:14 at 560 WQM. We got our usual unwanted schedule day. We got the Mad Dog at 2, which is not where we want him. It's not what we wanted. Mo Howard David at 4 to 7, which is definitely not what we wanted. You got Gildy 7 to 10, which is what nobody wanted. And then at least we rounded out with Eddie K at 10, who's a fixture. Oh, man. Hey, well, listen, what was your New Year's resolution? Maybe to lose weight again? You're trying to get rid of some of that disgusting fat? Are you sitting at your desk or in your car and you feel like unbuckling your belt, undoing the top button on your skirt? Yeah, I'd like to unbutton my skirt right now. Or maybe you've already done it. Balance for Life will deliver you 5 meals a day, every day, all based on the popular Zone diet. Let me say it again. Enjoy 5 feedings a day and still lose weight. The best part about the deal is Balance for Life is the only meal delivery company that offers you menu choices. Go to balanceforlife.com and check it out. Let me again advise you, lay low on the baba ganoush, but other than that, it's great. Indulge yourself with delicious goodies like blueberry pancakes, guilt-free cheesecake, yellowfin tuna burger, grilled filet with parsley potatoes. They even have a chicken and veggie pizza. And all you snowbirds in South Florida right now, to avoid the freezing, nasty snow fill, oh, man, should check this out, too, because they can tailor the meals to your specific needs. Don't think you're overweight? Well, take the simple BMI test, Fatso, at balanceforlife.com. Just go to the bottom of the page and click on Body Mass Index. If your score is over 25, guess what? You're PHAT. You need Balance for Life. What are you waiting for? Pull over to the side of the road right now. Put down that pen and get on the phone. Grab it and squeeze it. Call Balance for Life right now. 866-225-4543. That's 1-866-225-4543. Or on the web, it's balanceforlife.com.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
An embarrassment.
Absolutely.
Judge Bush, you've done this before. What then is all this money for? What if you're sworn in for 4 more years? No one cheers. Protest, there will be a few, but none on Fox News to view. There's so much about you that they hate. With your mandate on this your date, they will have to say, turning the backs. When you go past, you smile and wave like a fool. You look like a tool to me. Tell me, why'd you grow so much to get you inaugurated? You had to give private money for this with all that you have invaded. But you have to spend it to victory on yourself. No one else, and not one of those troops that need it. My armor whistles dollars and not a concert for the drum twins. Oh, no.
Oh, yes, 1019 at 560 WQM. What's 40 million among friends, right? People are starving.
Right. I got it right here.
Got all those folks over there in India and Sri Lanka and whatever, you know, all these stories around the world.
Buddhist.
But in the meantime, 40 million. And, of course, all of those balls. I know that most presidents had 2 balls, but this president had 10 balls, which is really pretty embarrassing. Anyway, here's our poll today. Although I forgot to tell you, Alyssa Milano was on the Beaded Curtain today. We got 3 pictures there for the price of 1. We're doing the top 5 from our poll last week of your favorite Beaded Curtain chick. Alyssa Milano is on there. She was number 5. So we'll run 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then, of course, we'll all kick Joyce in the knee. Yeah.
Knee.
Bad news. I should have mentioned this to the humper. I'm sure he's aware of this. Broward jockey killed in crash. Roger Dangine of Southwest Ranches, a retired jockey who raced horses in South Florida around the country, died in a car crash Saturday along with a family friend from Hollywood who was riding with him. In the 30 years
About 30, man.
that Roger Dangine raced horses, he came to love the animals for their speed, power, and beauty. After he retired from racing in the early 90s, Dangine saw those same qualities in a blue 1966 Ford Cobra convertible. He fell in love with the car, brought it home, and cared for it as he would a thoroughbred. On Saturday night, as Dangine and a friend took the Cobra on a joyride around a block in Hollywood, the ex-jockey lost control of his cherished car, had hit the median, launched into the air, and slammed into a cement light pole.
Oh, my gosh.
Dan Jean, 60, of Southwest Ranches, and his friend Linda Mustang, a 43-year-old mother, were killed. Police said the Cobra was traveling at a high speed. You know who else has a Cobra, don't you? Or did have?
Who, Rick Riley?
Yeah. He still got it?
I don't know.
Mustang of Hollywood was at a party in Hollywood on Saturday night hosted by Dan Jean's family. The ex-jockey asked partygoers if anyone wanted to take a ride around a block in his Cobra to experience the sleek car's power and beauty. Uh-oh, bad choice. Mustang, a longtime friend of Dan Jean and his wife's family, eagerly volunteered to take a ride. Dan Jean drove the Cobra around the block for a few minutes, was headed back to the party around 8 p.m. when the accident happened in the 4200 block of Sheridan Street. On Sunday, Dan Jean's family and friends mourned the loss of a man who raised 3 children and had mounts in more than 6,000 races at thoroughbred racetracks in South Florida and across the northeastern USA. He was a good man and a good rider, said Dominic Imprescia, 86, who was the trainer for Timely Rider, a horse Dan Jean rode in the 80s. He had a good head, good patience, and he was tough. And I cashed a bunch of tickets. Not a lot. Usually at a price, Roger Dan Jean. Usually a pretty good price. But anyway, he's dead. A lot of that. Oh, and guess who else is dead? Boy, there's a whole bunch of this stuff going on. You know what?
I give up.
Nixon's secretary, Rosemary Woods, 87, dies.
I heard about her on NPR this morning.
Right. Rosemary Woods, the devoted secretary to President Nixon, who admitted to inadvertently erasing part of a crucial Watergate tape, has died. She was 87. That's definitely old enough. Unless you're 86. What? Well, no,
right.
it's the truth.
Right.
I mean, you live to 93, and you say, oh, well, that's old enough, unless you're 92. And then you say, well, you're going to die when you're 93. Oh, I don't think so. How about 95 sounds good? You know, 97. Right?
Right.
Woods died Saturday night at a nursing home in Alliance, Ohio. Roger Ruzek, owner of a funeral home in Sebring, said yesterday he didn't know the cause of death. The 18-and-a-half-minute gap in the tape of a June 20th, 72 conversation between Richard Nixon and Chief of Staff H.R. Haldeman was critical of the question of what Nixon knew about the break-in. What did he know and when did he know it? That's what they kept asking. What did the president know and when did he know it? Of course, this president, we know what he knows and nothing. Right? He knew it before nothing and he knows now nothing. It's strictly bozo time. Now, here's the poll today. Going to rely on the audience. And don't tell me Johnny Carson, okay, because there's no way he's going to be more famous now after death, although it is kind of ironic that I had this poll picked out on Friday. We did the Johnny Carson story from the Enquirer on Friday, and all of a sudden, oh, he's dead. How do you like that?
I'm dying over here.
Here's Johnny. Why couldn't it have been Ed McMahon instead, you know?
It will be.
You think? Who best fits this description? Someone who became more popular after death. Now, I have two on there. Jesus Christ, which there's no question about that.
Jesus Christ.
During his day, so it is written, so they say. During his day, he was just one of many of these self-appointed philosophers, preachers who ran around preaching, you know, to his Getschkis.
He had a cult
and not too many people paid too much attention until Paul came along like 90 years later and said, oh, my God, he heard this story? Jesus Christ, and then, of course, Patsy Cline.
Right.
Decca Records. Huh?
I got one for you.
Okay.
James Dean.
James Dean. Oh, much more popular after he only made 3 freaking movies.
Mm-hmm. I think
James
it was
Dean.
because
That's an
he
excellent
died.
choice.
That was the whole mystique about him.
Right. Maybe Josh has got one for us, but I doubt it.
No, not off the top of my head, no.
No. You're still upset because the Patriots kicked such bad ass, you know?
Yeah, you're right about that, but...
I am? Why? Did you bet against them?
No, I thought they would.
You're not betting on football games, are you not? You're not going to be one of those QM Quislings who gets taken under the gambler's wings and starts punching your meager salary away.
You have a bookie, Josh?
No, only on the Super Bowl, I bet.
Yeah, and who are you going to bet on in the Super Bowl? Patriots are 6-point favorites, by the way, at the moment.
I haven't decided.
Let me ask you, did you watch the game yesterday?
I did, of course.
Yeah, and what was your impression of that game?
It was pathetic.
What was the number 1 defensive team in the league this past season? Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Yeah. What team was 15-1 and won like 8 million games in a row? Pittsburgh Steelers, right? What quarterback hadn't lost a single start? Ben Roethlisberger, right?
Right.
Yeah. Was it a contest? Was it even close? No. It was a blowout.
Yes, it was.
When in doubt, blow them out, baby. Tom Brady and the boys, kicked ass.
By the way, I totally agree with you on Phil Simms now. He is officially the worst.
He is absolutely so. And I'm going to tell you something. What's his name? The play-by-play guy yesterday really was awful, too. What the hell's his name? Don't tell me. He's terrible. Jim Nantz. Awful. And in addition to which, he was rooting for the Steelers. See, this is why the people of South Florida hate Jim Nantz, because he hates Hurricanes and he hates the Dolphins. Any South Florida teams he dislikes, and he makes it obvious. And I never was really that much aware of it. But last night, it was obvious he was rooting for the Steelers. Every time the Patriots made a great play, which there were so many, it was like, oh, gee, look at this again, you know? Man. And also, like on that one replay where it was so obvious on the interception, And he's saying, oh, well, the ball moved, and that's the one time Phil Simms finally in his life said something. Well, the ball always moves, you jackass. Jesus. It was so obvious it was an interception. You know the one I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah.
They challenged it.
That wasn't close. I mean, the one where the knee was on the ground, that I also knew that would be reversed. But this one wasn't even a contest. And there's Jim Nantz trying to make a story there for the Steelers.
No, Simms said about 5 things during the game where I just couldn't handle it.
Just cringed, yeah.
Yeah,
because he's a jackass. I think we ought to take Phil Simms and Joyce Fitch and have them both elope on a slow boat to China, a small rickety boat, one that's got a lot of holes in it. Sounds like a great... Seriously, you people out there, if you had any idea what's going on at QAM, you think that just because we give you like a little surface buzz of what's going on, you haven't got a clue what they're trying to do and who to screw, I'll never forget that day that I get a call from Norma Kent. Oh, they called me this afternoon, and please, won't Neil reconsider, and please don't send those signing checks back. Yeah, right. See, that's what happens when you bring them to the brink. Mad Dog and Humper. Both of those guys should tell them, listen, if you don't cut the crap and get this deal done the way you promised you were going to get it done, we're both going across the street. That would serve them right. They deserve to lose them both. Then, of course, we'd really be an island, but you know what? What difference does it make as long as we get paid? That's what they deserve, the way they treat people in this company. They make, like I said, they make Clear Channel look like the guy that hands out candy at Christmas time.
Candy
Who's the guy that hands out candy? Like Santa Claus, somebody like that. That's what they make him look like benevolent. That's how evil these people are. And, of course, most of it is this Joyce broad that they brought in from Maryland who wouldn't know a radio if you stuffed her up her ass. You're clueless, honey. You're clueless. And you're going to keep trying to peddle yourself to the Beasleys what a genius you are, and you're going to show all of us. In the meantime, what have you showed anybody? Doing a hell of a job with that professional provocateur, by the way. Not. You are pathetic, honey. Why don't you just crawl back in your little, your little pickup truck and drive back to Maryland where you belong and go do some more medical malpractice cases and leave the radio people alone. And stop bugging the poor Beasleys. They got enough problems of their own, all right? Trying to find that banjo. Yeah, that kid stole the banjo from the Beasleys, the one he was picking up there in the tree in Deliverance.
Yeah, it's missing.
Yeah, it was missing. In fact, Joyce, that'd be the best news of the week if Joyce turned up missing.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news. On Cullendon Lane, Jacksonville, Florida, Chuck Buick finally gave up. Chuck enjoys marijuana, so he decided to accept Paul Harvey's suggestion. He gave up. He went to the phone. He called me. He ordered a bong. Bong, that's a pipe used to smoke marijuana. I want you to hear this carefully because you're thinking about a Valentine's Day present for somebody you love very much. Quote, my marijuana bong arrived Saturday, and after I opened the box, I was in shock. My eyes were locked open wide. My whole house was now a concert hall. I went to the washroom, and even from there, it sounded like a real live lady singing right outside the door. Quote, with heat eating your ears, you're gouging out and tearing loose and pulling apart, gulping air and tasting black. Your windpipe is closing, and you've lost track of which way is out. There's a searing ember down your neck. Search, rescue, ventilate. Somebody's singed a kitten. Quote, I'm listening to all of my old CDs again because I have never really heard them before. Now, for that Valentine's Day gift, it's not too early for you to choose a bong. If you're anything but happy with it, I'll buy it back. To locate your nearest dealer, telephone 1-800-BONG.
10:33, 27 before 11. Sounds like he was just using one right there.
Right.
Anyway, we need some names for this list before we get on with our appointed grounds here. How about Marilyn Monroe?
There you go.
I mean, she was popular during her life, obviously, but then after she died, very mysteriously, after the Kennedys had her killed, she died. Then she really became legendary, right?
Right.
I would say so. Who best fits this description? Someone who became more popular after death. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I got one for the poll.
Yes, sir?
Jim Morrison from The Doors.
Excellent choice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jim Morrison. He might still be alive, though. We're going to check it out. We're going to France today. Going to be doing remote shows the rest of the week from France in your pants. Jim Morrison became huge. In fact, he might give Jesus a run for his money. Ever see him together? Same person. Didn't you think in his later years there when he had the whole facial thing, and he looked a lot like Jesus, didn't he?
And that?
Oh, yeah. And those neat slippers. He had the best sandals going. Oh, yeah. WQAM, hello.
Firm running phony.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, how you doing today?
Pretty good, Pally.
Last time I gave you a name for your poll, it was Robert Duvall, and he won.
Okay.
So today I'll make
this time?
Today I'll make it Elvis.
I thought about that, but you think he's more popular now than when he was alive?
When he he's made more money and been in more stuff since he's dead than he ever was.
Yeah, okay, it's a good choice. Okay, thanks. I thought about that, but then, he had 80 million number one hits, and he was extremely, you couldn't get much more popular. But since he died, as far as making more money, I would agree with that. Too bad the Colonel ain't here to enjoy it. And I don't mean Colonel Sanders either. What was his name?
Tom Parker.
Tom Parker, very good. Colonel Tom Parker. In fact, Elvis could have been a lot bigger, except Colonel Tom Parker insisted he'd be in all those grade Z movies he was in.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was responsible for that.
Every once in a while, you'll catch one of those by accident.
For about 3 minutes, and then you say, how did anybody ever watch this?
Well, there's always all these hot babes on there, those pastel colors. So
I see.
This is a good movie, and then Elvis walks on.
But is Frankie Avalon in it?
Not that I've seen.
WQAM, hello.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? I got one for you. Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee is
very
a good choice. Okay. Bruce Lee is very good. He's big now that he's dead. And what's his son's name? Pinky Lee?
Brandon.
Brandon Lee?
Yeah.
Nah, forget about it. Small potatoes, right?
Yeah, compared to Bruce, absolutely.
Right,
although
that's what
he
I'm saying.
also died in untimely
Only
death.
one Lee on there. No Peggy Lee, no Pinky Lee. Who else? No Robert E. Lee, right?
Lee Majors.
No Stan Majors. Only Bruce Lee. Only one of those karate crowd. One of the martial arts. What other is Chuck Norris dead yet? We can only...
No, not yet.
I know. Huh?
Not yet.
We're working on it. WQAM, hello. QAM.
You're a millionaire.
Last night, you know what movie was on? Manhunter. Which I never heard of that movie before, and I read the review of it.
I own it.
You do?
Sure.
Now, was that the Red Dragon? Was that the movie of Red Dragon?
Right. Red Dragon.
As soon as he started talking to Dr. Lecter, I said, "Wait a minute, this is the prequel to Silence of the Lambs."
Correct.
That was a good movie.
It was a good movie, very good movie.
It was outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where did I see that fruitcake that played? Where did we see him before? Unless I already saw that movie. Was there a different movie called Red Dragon?
They remade it with Rafe Fiennes.
No, but this guy that played the lunatic, the nut job.
Oh, that guy creeped me out, and I wish I knew.
Where have I seen him before? He always plays that same kind of character.
Sure, and,
he was no James Gumb, but he was...
And the guy that played Dr. Lecter is Brian Cox, who we've spoken about.
Brian Cox? Oh,
right.
my God. Well, he got to do something now that he ain't playing football no more. Was Phil Henry in it?
Okay.
WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Do you have Sal Mineo?
Sal Mineo is more popular. Well, I don't know. Is he really popular?
Well, I guess.
No.
How about Paris Hilton?
We can only pray. We can only hope for the best for her, for us. Barry Jackass writes, local shows in jeopardy.
Oh, my God.
And Alex Trebek don't even know about it. Or even that jerk that won all that money on there. What was his name that was on 8 million shows in a row that everybody hated?
Oh, Ken Jennings?
Ken Jenny. The market sports talk radio landscape appears on the... Now, see, this is the kind of crap they write about in your, weekly reader and your parochial yokel papers there, as if anybody listens to that station, which they don't. The market sports talk radio landscape appears on the verge of another shakeup. 1400 The Fan, the least popular of South Florida's 3 all-sports stations, could eliminate most or all local programming because of financing issues as early as this week, writes Barry. Rhymes with Mary. Carl Foster, no relation to Bud Foster, who's leasing WFLL-AM, signal from James Crystal Inc., has been speaking with investors, but missed Friday's payment deadline, is uncertain if he'll have funding in place by today when ownership wants it resolved. Asked if the station will have local programming today, Foster said, as of now, I can't say,
Yes.
or
No.
even if I secure funding, I might not go with as much local programming. So this is all these people who want to play sports, all these little people that are sports nerds who want to be, I'm going to do my own sports station. Let's have 40 sports stations. Local programming on 1400 The Fan includes Foster and Anita Marks, 7 to 10 a.m., Gary Furman and Mark Bednarchik, 10 a.m. to noon, Frank Fort and Bruce Warner, 3 to 6, and Frank ain't as good when now they got the mole taken off. And alternating hosts including ex-Dolphin Jim Kick, 6 to 8 p.m. The station carries Jim Rome's national show, noon to 3, and Fox Sports programming overnights. Now, let me take a look at the ratings, okay?
Okay.
Well, I'm getting them. Just hold your horses, man. Let's see if in men 2554 they showed up. Let's look at midday, WFLL. I don't think anybody even knows what those call letters are, do you?
I never heard of them.
Used to be the light bulb, 1400. I'm looking. There's Waxy with their 1 point.
Oh!
Not too good. Not too good. Waxy, they got Joe Rose, and that's all they got so far, Joyce. Don't be sending anybody else over there to stick it down our throats, okay? You miserable, hateful sow, you. Let's see. I'm looking. WFLL. I don't see a glimmer. I don't see a number. I don't see anything. Even WNMA, Mr. Ego Station's got a point. Well, they got a 0, but they got a few people. Nothing. WFTL, that's 850 at a 0.3. Oh, that's Bill O'Reilly. I forgot to mention that on Friday when the ratings came out. Bill O'Reilly and his midday on the FTL, they went from a point to a 0.3. They're moving, man. He's making a big impact in the market.
Now they will fear him.
Steve Lappa, general manager of James Crystal, said he likely will stick with Fox Sports Radio national programming for at least a couple of months, even if Foster's lease is not renewed. I like Bananas Foster myself. WFLL, which went on the air May 3rd, has been hurt by signal problems in parts of Dade County. Yeah, they got like 5 watts, and if you're like sitting right under their tower, maybe you can hear it in the daytime, and even then at night you can't hear it right next to the tower. Barry. Hurt by a lousy signal in Dade, and competition from 790 ESPN Radio, which debuted September 1st, and WQAM, like we're an afterthought. He's got his head so far up 790's ass because they're the Herald's partner now. They're partners, you know, like Hyman Roth. ESPN 790 continues to move toward an agreement for the Dolphins' rights and remains in discussions with QM host Jim Mandich about a 1 to 4 p.m. show. I'm going to tell you, we lose the Mad Dog and the Humper, Joyce, and you're going to have to answer for it, okay? You're going to have to answer for Santino, right. That is
absolutely
correct. So there you go, Barry. Take your silly-ass little column, your brown paper bag lunch, and stick them both up your ass, Barry. You quizzling you little simpleton, you little pudgy piece of turd. That's Barry Jackass at the Herald, and working for a perfect newspaper, too, for him, by the way.
Listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Jenny Craig, please.
Who's calling?
This is Kirstie Alley.
What's it in reference to?
It's in regards to me being fat.
Hey,
you're chubby too.
No, I'm not.
Let's lose weight together.
I'm not fat. I'm busy being sane. Why don't you call back after hours?
Can you hold on a second?
Hello?
Hey, you're fat.
No, I'm not. Who's this?
This is Kirstie Alley.
Stop calling me. Jenny Craig.
Jenny! Hey, listen, girl, I'm fat.
Get lost, lard ass.
Have you called Jenny yet?
I was just telling you about those TV spots. You haven't seen them yet?
No.
She only weighs like 700 pounds soaking wet. 16 before 11 at 560 WQM. January 24th, that's today, is called the worst day of the year. No wonder a lot of these people sound so off their feed today, you know?
So why is it the worst day of the year?
British psychologist calculates the most depressing day. Is the midwinter weather wearing you down? See, this is not for here it would be. Yeah. Oh, brother. Wow. And then to have the power go out for 12 hours yesterday and on a day when it's just freezing cold. But anyway, it says, are you sinking in debt after the holidays? Angry with yourself for already breaking your New Year's resolution? Wish you could crawl back under the covers, not have to face another day of rain, sleet, snow, and paperwork? Probably. After all, it's nearly January 24th. See, this is in the UK where it's always depressing because it's always sleeting and raining and crappy. It's nearly January 24th. Well, now it is. The most depressing day of the year, according to a UK psychologist. Dr. Cliff Arnell's calculations show that misery will peak today. How do you like that?
Wow.
Arnell, who specializes... He must know Joyce. Arnell, who specializes in seasonal disorders at the University of Cardiff in Wales, created a formula that takes into account numerous feelings to devise people's lowest point. The model is W plus D minus D times TQ over M times NA. You got it?
No. Could you do it again?
I bet you that, what's his name, from Good Will Hunting, has got it. Matt Damon. That was on again the other day, you know. It's just so syrupy and so... No. And, of course, Ben Affleck's in there again, too. Don't the two of them ever do anything, like, without the other one? And I do mean anything. I think I think they got side-by-side commodes, those two. Everything that they do, they're, like, doing it together. They're pretty tight. Anyway, this equation is broken down into 7 variables: weather, debt, monthly salary, time since Christmas, time since failed quit attempt, low motivational levels, and the need to take action. Arnell found that while days technically get longer after December 21, cyclonic weather systems take hold in January, bringing low, dark clouds to Britain. See, this is a Brit thing. Meanwhile, the majority of people break their healthy resolutions 6 to 7 days into the new year, and even the hangers-on have fallen off the wagon, tore off the nicotine patches, and eaten the fridge empty by the 3rd week. Any residual dregs of holiday cheer and family fun have kicked the bucket by January 24. Following the initial thrill of New Year celebrations and changing over a new leaf, reality starts to sink in, Arnell said. The realization coincides with the dark clouds rolling in and the obligation to pay off Christmas credit card bills. The formula was devised to help a travel company analyze when people book holidays and holiday trends. It seems that people are most likely to buy a ticket to paradise when they feel like hell. To paradise. Stay with Mo and Mrs. What do you think? And the muskrat. So there you go. It's mostly a Brit thing because in South Florida it's not sleeting and snowing and freezing, although it is cold for there, right?
Right.
Well, I'm really going to cry for you, you know?
Yeah, I had to turn a little heater on in the
Oh,
bathroom.
there's Rich Little.
Are you still doing me in your act?
See, how you like that, huh?
Rich Little.
Yeah. There's Rich Little doing a parody of Rich Little.
Yes, they do, John. He said, gee, that's great to know. I just wondered if, they'd forgotten who I was.
That was almost like hearing the real Johnny, wasn't it?
No.
No, it was not. It was almost like hearing Rich Little doing the real Johnny. 1048 at 560 WQAM. A dark pall has been cast over the whole QM proceedings. In spite of no matter what we do, no matter how well we do, no matter how much the audience loves us, we just can't get our heads above water because of this outfit, man. Because of this company. They just absolutely refuse to treat people like human beings. They don't know how to do it. They don't have it in them. They got to browbeat. They got to abuse. They got to play games. They got to play these legal games. They got to lie. They can't treat people like human beings. Remember the human beings, nobody but me?
Yes.
Anyway, here's the deal. Who best fits this description? Someone who became more popular after death. Jesus, 54. James Dean, 8. Elvis, 4. Jim Morrison, 3. Marilyn Monroe, 3. Bruce Lee's got a pair. And Patsy Cline's got 2 out of 76. Not too many people probably remember Patsy Cline. What were her hits? Walking After Midnight.
All right.
And what was the other one? She had a couple of big hits. I'm not going to look it up. It's not worth it. Well, country music. It was on Decca Records. I remember that. Used to play that as a disc jockey in my youth 100 years ago. Walking After Midnight, and she had one other one, too, Patsy Cline. Somebody will call. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless Line. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, hi, Mr. Neil, please.
Speaking.
Hi, Neil. I got one for the poll.
Okay.
Vincent Van Gogh.
Vincent Van Gogh is much more popular now.
Right.
You better believe it.
Thank you very much.
With or without the ear. Thanks a lot.
Sweet Dreams. Crazy.
No, not Sweet Dream. That wasn't big.
Well,
what is it?
Crazy.
Crazy was big. That was Patsy Cline. Crazy, yeah.
I Fall to Pieces.
I Fall to Pieces, yeah.
So Wrong.
No.
Strange.
Oh, yeah, she was.
Back in Baby's Arms.
She looked a little dykey to me, but I don't know. Back in the day, you would never talk about such things in public
She's
company.
Got You.
Oh, really? I don't think so.
Faded Love.
Yeah.
Why Can't He Be You?
Yeah.
You're Stronger Than Me.
Yeah, I know that.
Leaving on Your Mind.
That's it?
That's it. That's
her
greatest
smash?
hits, yeah.
I Fall to Pieces, Walking After Midnight, and what was the other? Crazy. Those were the 3 big ones. Crazy was big, especially at QAM. WQAM, hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Buenos días, amigo. ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien. Gracias. Listen, I got one for the list. I almost said thank you in Russian, actually. Listen.
До свидания.
Spasiba. Listen, I got one for the list. A Brit, actually, and hopefully hopefully the people enjoy it. It's Alfred Hitchcock.
You really think so? I hear Patsy Cline distantly in the background there.
Where
did you find that?
That's not my end.
Same site that Amazon sampling.
Oh, you're sampling from Amazon, Patsy Cline. Alfred Hitchcock, I guess so.
He became very popular afterwards,
Yeah.
and if you don't like him, maybe Copernicus.
Okay, especially with the church.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Put them both on there. Copernicus, if you can spell it, Josh. I want to see the way he spells this. But you ought to know, being a good Catholic boy that you are.
Just like it sounds.
Right. Copernicus. And Alfred Hitchcock. What a talk-up.
Wow.
It's fine.
Yes.
She had that kind of talk, like
yes,
that.
She did.
Yeah. Kind of like Eric Reed that does the Heat games on TV.
It's like Michael when when McCluskey broke his jaw there. It's not personal.
Right. It's business. Strictly business. 10:51, 5, and then he kept drooling all through the rest of the all 3 movies. He kept drooling all the time.
Well, it was quite a punch he took there.
Yeah, sure did. Hold him up straight. WQAM, hello.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
I got one. I don't have to go on, right?
We'll see.
No, you don't have to.
I got one for the list. It's a famous but not popular. Nicole Simpson.
Oh, absolutely. Someone we didn't say celebrity. Somebody came a very good one. Thank you. That's a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
I mean, who the hell really ever heard of Nicole? No. I mean, other than people that were on the West Coast.
Oh man.
Right, and knew about that whole thing out there, right?
I mean, we could take that a bit further and say Lacey Peterson.
No.
Who ever heard of her?
No.
All right.
The different, I don't think so.
No,
I don't want to dignify. I wouldn't put that in the same category with Ron and Nicole.
Right.
Okay,
that was a celebrity.
And we could put Ron Goldman on there because we don't want to get Fred Goldman pissed off because then he'll start popping up on TV all over the place. And we've seen enough of that handlebar mustache already. Those went out 100 years ago with knickers. But, you know, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but I think that Nicole is in a different category, wouldn't you?
It was the wife.
Yeah, it was her. I mean,
Ron
he was just a pain in the ass bystander who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Damn it. I hate when that happens, and so did he, obviously. WQAM, line 9, hello.
I hate Casanova.
WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil. I enjoyed the new segment you had.
Yeah, okay, great. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I got something for the poll.
Okay, what do you got?
Kurt Cobain, man.
Kurt Cobain, no doubt about it. Thanks a lot, Pally.
No problem.
Okay. Kurt Cobain.
Okay.
You don't think so? I mean, not even close.
Well, they were huge when they were alive, and as soon as he died, so did the career.
Never washed his hair or seemed to have a care, Cobain. His name was Kurt, now he's pushing up dirt, Cobain.
I think the dog done it myself.
Wiping drool from his chin, Courtney doing heroin, Cobain. Nirvana was hot, and now it's Kurt they ain't got, Cobain. He got high, said goodbye, then he died, Cobain. He died? I'm dying over here. Made $1 million an hour, never took a shower, Cobain. He's a #1 hit in heaven's big mosh pit, Cobain. He'll meet Elvis the King and say grunge was my thing, Cobain. So if you're filled with doubt, don't take Kurt's way out, Cobain. He got high, said goodbye, then he died, Cobain.
By the way, Judge Portis and I want to apologize for picking Atlanta to beat Philadelphia yesterday. I can't tell you how sick Michael Vick must have looked in that game because I didn't see it because the power was out. I heard some of it on the radio.
Oh, you didn't see it at all? It was great. They
I didn't see one
showed,
second of it.
You know when fans run out on the field and they don't show that? When they, you know, like a fan runs out and they tackle him? They actually showed it yesterday. It was great. It's the best part of the game.
That was the highlight of the game?
Yeah.
Well, that was in Philly. What do you expect?
Right.
The worst fans in the world, the most obnoxious. They make the Yankee fans seem like, churchgoers, like a bunch of parishioners. That's what a bunch of rowdy, obnoxious, disgusting. That's why it'll be extra sweet when the Patriots kick Philly's ass in the Super Bowl in Jacksonville in 2 weeks. Even though you still don't believe. That's the thing that just amazes me. And they were talking about that. I was watching WSBK last night. The post-game festivities went on for hours in Boston. And they kept talking about that, the fact that nobody believes and they don't really care, Rodney Harrison was talking about that every week they have to prove themselves again and nobody buys it. And they're always, nobody believes they're going to beat these so-called good teams, the great team du jour. And every week they kick their ass.
No, I mean, I told you...
I realized they couldn't beat a team as good as the Dolphins, but that was just an aberration. You told me what?
I told you on Friday I thought they would win.
Yeah, but this morning you're like apologizing for it, gee, I didn't think they were that good.
What do you mean?
Well, you said before you're like a little bit depressed about it, the fact they kicked Pittsburgh's ass so bad.
Well, I wanted Pittsburgh to win. I didn't think that
Why
they
did
would.
You? Now, wait a minute. Why would you want Pittsburgh to win? What is that all
because
about?
I'm a little tired of the Patriots winning. What do you...
You see, this is a typical South Florida mentality. It's not important that the Dolphins win, but that the Patriots lose, or that the Jets lose. See, we know the Dolphins suck, that they're an embarrassment, that Wayne is, started with a brainstem in Jimmy Johnson, that he's, the whole organization, no matter what he calls the stadium, it's dissolved into crap. Okay? It's dissolved into something they ought to pay you to go watch. And so that's why we're not getting anybody calling saying, we finally got rid of that one Patriot guy, that New England Paul. We finally lost him. But other than that, it's like, there wasn't even any game yesterday. Neither game happened. Not that we're doing a sports show, but wouldn't it be something for somebody to finally admit, hey, you know what, you're right about Brady and Vinatieri and Bruschi and the whole team, man, and Deion Branch and everybody on that team. And Corey Dillon, who didn't have much of a first half, but then exploded when it really counted in the second half. How'd you like that touchdown run, huh? Impressive. is what I thought. But you don't want to say anything about it because you thought you were rooting for Pittsburgh. That's enough to really... I don't understand it.
What do you mean? I mean, they've won it 2 of the last 3 years. I'd like to see somebody else.
What's wrong with having a dynasty? What's wrong with there being a really great team that goes out there and, like, just kicks ass, that just puts on a phenomenal performance?
Nothing's wrong with it, but I'd like to see somebody else. You know?
Why would you want to see the Steelers? Why would you want to see a guy like Bill Cowher who behaves like a crazy man who belongs in a straitjacket? Why would you want to see him win anything?
Why is that?
He needs help. He needs emotional. There are times that when they show him on the sideline, he looks like Dr. Elector on a bad day, like they need to stick a rubber ball in his mouth and put him in restraints, jutting that jaw. There's something definitely wrong with that guy, and everybody I talk to agrees with me.
I won't argue.
Nice call there, by the way, on 4th and goal from a yard and a half out for the field goal. Man, what a chicken Schmidt move that was, huh? Outcoached, outplayed, crushed, end of story.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Yo, what up, homie? You need some tips on improving your crib? Then tune in to the In the Hood and Garden channel. Each week, Ice-T trades in his Mac 9 for a nail gun and remodels a crack house near you. That's right, boots all the crack holes out, then gets busy with this old his owl. Thursday nights at 8, Ice will show you how to custom design a kitchen for cooking up some crack and create a comfortable living room decor just perfect for cracking a couple of 40s with your posse and bending those bitches over the couch. So join Ice each week as he fires up this mofo. It's this old his house. It's on the In the Hood and Garden channel, biatch. What up?
136 votes on a poll so far. Who best fits this description? Someone who became more popular after death. Jesus is untouchable here, I think. Jesus has 81. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Elvis. What about some of these other religious figures?
Right. Buddha.
Abraham.
Muhammad.
Solomon. Abraham Solomon.
Are we going to put them all on there? Or?
No, I'm just joking, okay? Just relax, okay? I want to get to that story about the survey finds church-going Americans less tolerant, as if that's a shock. Elvis, 13, James Dean, 13. Same person. Marilyn Monroe, 7. Vincent Van Gogh, 5. Nicole Simpson, 4. Jim Morrison, 4. Kurt Cobain, 3. Bruce Lee has got 3. Patsy Cline, 2. She's still walking after midnight, though. I'm always walking after. She is pretty weak. Copernicus has 1, and Alfred Hitchcock don't have any yet. I'm almost tempted to play the theme from Alfred Hitchcock's show if I could find it again. Don't start playing those themes again.
Why not?
From all those, huh? Well, how about... Yeah. No, it's just a joke. That's just to throw you off until I get the other one queued up. You know, all those terrible stories that all the actresses like Tippi Hedren told about what a lech he was and he was pawing all over them. They're all true.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that?
I'd paw all over Tippi Hedren.
Would you?
Yeah.
You tippy all over a Hedren?
Sure. Right over.
That's for the birds. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines. On a really, this is the most depressing day of the year in Britain, but we're not in Britain, okay? And it's going to be all the way up to a toasty -5 Celsius here. So what's not to like, huh? Boy, I'm going to tell you. Well, what a unpropitious day for the power to go out all over this city yesterday. Man, 12 hours. I think I ought to sue somebody, don't you?
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
Just for the hell of it. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I got a suggestion.
Okay.
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury is excellent.
Is that
very
a good
popular
answer?
during... Right.
I think that's a good one. Hey, you're from Michigan?
I beg your pardon?
Are you from Michigan?
Am I from Michigan? No, did I live in Michigan for 12 years? Yes.
Oh, I'm from Ohio. Just curious, just wondering. I'm a Midwestern boy.
Well, what does Ohio have to do with Michigan, though?
I don't know. I like Cleveland. I'm a Cleveland boy, not Ohio.
Oh, you like Cleveland? My God, that's a horrible thought. That's
My
like
Browns.
that would be like my. Yeah, I was a Browns fan all of my life until I came to Florida.
Well, and we had Bill Belichick. How do you figure that one out? He couldn't do anything, could he?
Yeah, well, you used to have the real Browns, too, until Art Modell moved
That's
into
right.
Baltimore.
We had Bertie Kosar, didn't we?
Yeah, but you sure got those neat uniforms. Well, where did that one game they played? Which game was that where they had those really freaky uniforms?
Oh, yeah, all orange.
Wow.
They were pretty ugly. I know.
Good luck. I'll see you in Lima, okay?
Yeah, Freddie Mercury.
Good luck to you. Thanks, man. Freddie Mercury, got it?
Yeah,
very popular during life, but certainly every sporting event you go to now, right?
Yeah. What, We Are the Champions? But that was going on long before he died.
But it's going on now, or it's this. Wow. Speaking of PETA, you still got that PETA file that you got in the mail this morning?
Yeah.
Those animal lovers from PETA.
I threw the book away.
If I ever hear this again, it will be too soon. So I'm gonna save him. I'm gonna avoid the pain and the punishment. That's a good choice, Freddie Mercury. I think. You don't?
No, but
what about? I got one for you.
Frankie Lyman. Get it on there.
See, I beat him to the punch. Frankie Lyman. Let's put Frankie Lyman on every poll, no matter what it is.
Right.
You know, I think that's a good idea, just to pacify that one guy who's got an obsession with Frankie Lyman. Why do fools fall in love? That was a medley of his smash. It was big. WQAM, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Pretty good, Pally.
Before we got into the poll with a suggestion, I just got to tell you something that irritates the crap out of me that keeps happening on the show.
Yeah.
What is with George Corso and that damned EANS test?
Oh, they're still doing that in the middle of the show?
Yeah, they just did it just in front of your stop set.
Really?
Yeah, no sweeper, no rejoin, came up in the middle of the first spot.
Well, that's because he's an idiot. What do you expect? Can't complain about our engineering because we don't have any. That's why our fax machine is still screwed up from Friday. We just got a bunch of losers who hang around and complain that they're overworked. They don't want to do anything.
Bunch of fakers.
Right. That's right. That's the Beasley effing way, man. You ought to know that.
Well, and I'm also inquisitive as to what happened to Screw Ann. Where did she go, and what happened?
Man. Won't see her no more. Fired it. She got the Donald Trump treatment, man. Fired it.
Why did she get fired?
I don't know. Maybe they found the collection of pictures she was hiding, and once they had them, they didn't need her anymore.
Oh, those pictures, those damn
I'll tell you
pictures.
one thing, man. This new sales guy, I don't know if I met him or not, but he sure ain't doing much of a job. We don't have any spots. We have no spots on the log, man. We got all these gigantic. We got an 87 share. We got everybody in town listening, and they can't sell it. And my friend Jeff Cohen at the Pizza Loft says that our sales department's jerking him around and trying to charge him $8,000 a spot.
Because that's the way it works.
Jewish.
You know, you see, if you're a regular customer, you have to crap on the regular customer's head.
Right.
Anybody knew
just
that,
like the talent. They treat our clients the same way they treat the talent. Crap all over them, man. Abuse them and use them and lose them, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to lose Mad Dog, and they're probably going to lose the Humper too if they don't cut this crap. That Joyce, listen. You think you have some idea based on what I'm talking on the air? You haven't got a clue what's going on in this joint.
I can only imagine. You know,
when a general manager shakes your agent's hand and says, "Oh, we got a deal," and then you find out that nobody else in the company knows anything about it, and there is no contract, and there is no check, and there is no nothing. All of a sudden, you have to raise 4 eyebrows and wonder, what kind of a bunch of crazy people am I working for?
You got to remember, he's been in town for 19 years, and for 19 years, it's been nonstop. It's the same thing.
Right.
You know, he doesn't know what he's doing from Wednesday to Thursday.
Yeah, but at least he's consistent.
Well, that's
yeah.
That's true. All right, I have one for your poll.
Yes, sir.
It's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Larry King.
Oh, please. Okay. I'm holding I'm crossing my legs for that. I'll read a Larry King story. Maybe it'll do the same thing it did for Johnny.
Yeah, and for Paulcaster Fatso, what's the weather up there today?
Okay, thanks a lot, pal.
See you, pal.
Get out of the business before it's too late. There's our PD friend from over there at Light 10, whatever it is.
Is great radio.
Yeah. Now, don't put I see Josh is going to put Larry King on there. He's not dead yet.
Really?
I know it's not easy to tell.
To me.
He's serving a suspended sentence, but whatever. Wow. Survey finds church-going Americans... Oh, and one other thing, too, that business about on Friday when the ratings were coming in that last hour, and you tell me Greg comes in and wants to make sure I know congratulations on a great book. If he would have bent over and farted right in your face, that would have had a greater impact. I would have found that at least amusing. It would have had some impact on me, you know? And on you, too, I'm sure. Yeah. No, seriously. What does that mean? I'm supposed to be impressed by that? After all the screwing around and the lies and the crap and the kind of insanity that goes on in this company, that's become so much worse the last few months. It's like these people have just it's one thing to have a screw loose. It's all the screws just came undone, you know? It's like all of a sudden you go out to your car, you start the engine, everything just falls apart in little pieces on the ground. And that's what's happened to QAM in spite of our big numbers. We're doing it in spite of these people, folks. It's just astonishing. It's the only radio station I can think of in America that's got a lineup on the air. It's not the one that they want. They got people on there they don't want on the air at all. They got them on in the wrong time. It's amazing, astonishing. And then we keep hearing that Mad Dog's got a deal. Oh, I guess he doesn't. Hank had a deal. Oh, not yet. Get it done already and stop the procrastination. Stop driving everybody crazy. That's my suggestion to you, okay? Go out and sell some spots. Go make some money. Go sell those big numbers we just put out there. Put Miguel out there in a street corner with a tin cup. $1 a holler. We'll give you a spot. Don't you think that's a good idea?
But we have a lot of plastic cups in here already.
Whatever.
They're funny shaped.
Plastic cups. Anything we got. Some of those baseball caps. Just go out there in a corner like those homeless voice people do.
Oh.
And don't get me started on them.
Please.
It's a cult.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, Sean Canoni, maybe he could be doing shotgun with Joyce. Sean Canoni, excuse me, who's full of baloney.
Yes.
And remember what they said? Huh?
I said yes, he is.
And you remember what they said in The Godfather?
Leave the gun.
Take the
cannoli.
Which almost rhymes, not quite. Survey finds church-going Americans less tolerant. Let's do that story after the break. I got a few bedtime stories here, a little mix and match. A little something for everybody today, including our sales department. I got something for them. It's called My Foot Up Their Ass, is what it is. If I sound a little bit wild today, it is after hearing the whole thing with Hank. That just set me off. I was in such a good mood, even in spite of that horrible day with the power out yesterday. Killed about an hour and a half of that time with the power down, having a great dinner at Ruth Chris in the Hilton Hotel in Toronto, downtown. The best Ruth Chris of them all is this one. Now you'll say, well, why is that? Well, I told you I don't want to say anything, but when I was down there that week, that awful week, a bunch of us went to Ruth Chris because I thought I was doing something nice for everybody, and it was like disappointing. You know, even though the very nice lady called the next day, called the house. Oh, thanks very much for coming by. It was nice to see you. But it was weak. How's that possible?
I don't know. Off day.
No, because Beast, I remember Josh when George was on vacation. I was giving Beast crap because he said he went to the one at Coral Gables and it was disappointing.
Yeah, he said he had a bad time.
I apologize to the Beast because evidently they've I don't know, maybe since Ruth died, which isn't that long ago, maybe things have gone to hell in a handbasket. But the one up here is just oh brother, that French onion soup, and they bake it in the oven so that it just almost burns on top. You know what I mean? So the cheese is really crisp, and then that ribeye just cooked exactly the way you want it, and just without the butter, by the way, in my case. And just juicy and tender and just enough fat around the edges to make it so tasty you could just almost spaz out on the table. It was great.
I'm sure glad we got food on the way.
What do you got?
AC Subs, Atlantic City Subs.
Atlantic City Subs coming today, where Ira used to make the difference, and now the guy's name is
Jason.
And thanks again to that Tex-Mex, whatever that place was on Friday.
Tijuana Taxi Company.
Tijuana Taxi, because George and Josh raved about it. They said not only was the price right, but the food was sensational.
They fed the whole building, and everybody loved it.
Great. See, then there's a smart guy. He knows he's going to get a little plug on the ear. He comes by, brings us the food. That's a smart guy.
4400 South University Drive in Davie.
See, there you go. Now, if Jeff Cohen would do that instead of bellyaching about the fact the sales department keeps screwing him over, if he'd bring you by some food, then we give him a free plug again at the Pizza Loft in Davie. What?
Anytime we want, he says.
On University Drive between 595 and Griffin Road in Davie. One of my fine, long-standing sponsors that our sales department's trying to destroy, trying to put him out of business because he's Jewish. Armstrong Ford Vice President and General Manager David Rich called last week, or was it 2 weeks ago now, and said that he's overstocked with Mustangs. I think it was week before last, Fat Boy. I don't mean you, David. I mean Jeff High. He said Armstrong Ford will blow out these new 2005 six-cylinder Mustangs for as little as $17,900, which saves you over $3,500. That's what Bill Cullen used to say, dollars. You want to know why? He's from Pittsburgh, Western PA. Dollars. They say dollars.
Dollars.
Plus, at Armstrong Ford, they have a couple of 2004 models left, and get this, they'll let them go for just $12,499. Original MSRP on these was $18,660, which means you save over $5,600. Great deals, plus as always, Armstrong Ford includes tires and batteries for life with each vehicle you buy. Great prices, added value, friendly service, that's the Armstrong difference. So when you're ready for a new vehicle, come to the dealer that treats you just like family, Armstrong Ford of Homestead, Southwest 307th Street, US 1, exit to Campbell Drive, right off the turnpike. Believe you me, it's well worth the drive a few extra miles because they're going to save you thousands of dollars. Prices include all factory rebates and discounts with approved credit plus tax tag and fees at Armstrong Ford of Homestead.
Turn left. Yes, Dave.
What the hell is that?
Right.
It's a bit.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively. QAM.
Want a lollipop, little boy?
No.
All right. All right, all right, all right.
No one cares, it's rated R. No one cares, there's lots of blood. No one cares, God is the star. Jesus is doing all right. Oh yeah, Jesus is doing all right. Jesus is doing all right on screen. Jesus may do a sequel, yeah. Jesus makes spin on TV.
All right. 11:17 at 560 WQAM. Hey, let's do this all day. In honor to Johnny. From now until midnight, it's the QAM tribute to Johnny Carson. Hey-oh! Here's Johnny. But I don't think so. Survey finds church-going Americans less tolerant. Church-going Americans have grown increasingly intolerant in the past 4 years of politicians making compromises on such hot issues as abortion and gay rights, according to a survey released on Saturday. And don't forget, religion without a scapegoat ain't worth a damn. At the same time, those polled said they were growing bolder about pushing their beliefs on others, even at the risk of offending someone. They're becoming more farbisten, as the Chinese say. The trends could indicate that religion has become more prominent in American discourse, more salient, according to Ruth Wooden, president of Public Agenda, a nonpartisan research organization which released the survey. Speaking of organization, Trevor Linden says, looks like 2 seasons with no hockey, but nevertheless. Also, I got a very disturbing call from Rimmer last night in the middle of the Patriots game. Don't call me when the Patriots are playing, Rimmer, you maniac, you idiot. It could also indicate more polarized political thinking. There do not seem to be very many voices arguing for compromise today, she said in an interview. It could be that more religious voices feel under siege, pinned against the wall by cultural developments. They may feel more emboldened as a result. The November U.S. election saw voters in a number of states back gay marriage bans, and President Bush won re-election with heavy support from fellow religious farbisten conservatives. Those surveyed were nearly all Christians, not by design, but because the sample reflected the makeup of the population, the group said. A 2002 Pew Research Council survey found that 82% of the U.S. populace considered itself to be Christian, while 10% identified with no religious group. On the question of whether elected officials should set their convictions aside to get results in government, 84% agreed in 2000. However, 4 years later, that had dropped to 74%. There was a sharper decline on the same question among weekly churchgoers, from 82% in the first survey to 63% in the second. About 40% of Americans claim to be weekly churchgoers, according to Corwin Schmidt, S-M-I-D-T, Schmidt, director of the Henry Institute for the Study of Christianity and Politics at Calvin College in Michigan. Some surveys have placed the figure at 25%. Weekly churchgoers. In other words, they talk a good game, but are they there? Do they show up? No, hell no. They're busy drinking, screwing, doing drugs, stealing.
Right. Judging.
In the survey, 32% of those who attended church once a week said they were willing to compromise on abortion issues. Oh, this goes out with numbers and numbers. The poll also found that 37% overall felt that deeply religious people should be careful not to offend anyone where they spread the word of God, a decline from 46% 4 years earlier. Only 37%. In other words, 73%, see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The number of those who felt that committed faithful should spread the word whenever they can rose to 41%, up 6 points. They're becoming more militant, more obnoxious, more making you an offer you can't refuse, more inquisitive, as in Spanish. On another issue, the survey found little change in opinion on whether the U.S. political system can handle greater interaction between religion and politics. Asked if there was a threat if religious leaders and groups got a lot more involved in politics, 63% in 2000 and 61% in 2004 said the system could easily handle it. Oh, right. But the remainder continued to believe the system would be threatened. I guess that's the 20 of us who are sick and tired of this crap, of people trying to beat you over the head with their bullcrap religion, with their superstition and phony baloney garbage, their holier-than-thou crap. All these I'm a lot better than you are hypocrites, phonies like Lard-ass Limbaugh and Bill Bennett and all these other phony Nazis. And your president, of course. Well, he's just dumb. WQAM, hello.
They cut my check.
WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil?
Yes.
Hey, I just had, for the poll, I had a person for the poll.
Okay, go right ahead.
John Holmes.
John Holmes is much bigger now. Well, I don't know if I'm about bigger, but yeah. Good choice, pal. And stay away from him, by the way.
Oh, definitely.
Thanks a lot.
Right.
Stay away from that body, man. It's still got problems.
Right.
John Holmes.
Mm-hmm. An unliving legend.
How about Sherlock Holmes? Just a joke now, Josh. Don't keep a nice Shylock Holmes on there. There ain't no such guy. Although the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle is certainly much more popular after it. But how about some of those authors? How about Shakespeare, William Shakespeare?
Right.
Not even a contest,
no,
right?
No, not a contest.
I think that's the winner.
Marginal during his lifetime.
Right. In fact, a lot of people aren't even sure if he wrote all that swill. I mean, all those great plays.
It was not Francis Bacon.
It was Kevin Bacon?
6 Degrees.
Who was on Guiding Light? He still played. He was the son of that little short nurse that came up to about your hip, Sarah McIntyre. Boy, what? Now, see what I mean about my mind? That woman, she's probably dead by now. She hasn't been on that show in a while. I don't even watch the show much anymore, except it's before Passion's here. But she was a character on that show like 100 years ago. And you just make some reference to Kevin Bacon, and right away there's her name, just like that, right in my mind. I got to get rid of these things. I have to clean the way for important stuff. I don't know what that might be, but anything.
Yeah, I know how.
My mind is cluttered with crap. My brain is just filled with swill. All the swill that I like because nobody else knows what. Except that one guy with that Floyd Venable Jr. the other day. That was good. That was great. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, how about Tupac?
Tupac, that's a good one. He's big now. He's huge.
Yeah.
Not as huge as John Holmes, but almost. Let me ask you, is Chris boring? 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. There isn't anybody, unless they're from Michigan, has any idea what I just said. Or maybe Dick Feinberg might be listening at Pompano Park. He ain't got much to do right at this moment on a Monday at 11:23 in the morning. Although they're probably getting ready to put in them slots. Now, see, what I want is I want my own machine with my name on it. Yeah. No, Wheel Loose, Wheel of Fortune, $5 machine that does nothing but spin and pay jackpots over and over again. And Fat Rich isn't allowed to play it. WQAM, hello.
Yes, nomination for the poll, please.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Bobby Darin.
Bobby Darin is a perfect choice.
And you put him on there, or I'll kick your cock ass.
Bobby Darin.
You're going to have to argue with that guy just for fun.
Mac the Knife.
Right.
I'm getting a headache from this show. Mac the Knife, Beyond the Sea. Dream Lover. That was my favorite Bobby Darin song. That was a great song. And that's it, huh? He was also in a lot of those cornball, horrible movies, like Connie Francis and Annette Funicello and Fabian and what's his name, which I just said him before?
Elvis.
Frankie Avalon. No, Elvis was not in those movies. He was in his own bad movies. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
You ever watch the Game Show Network?
Occasionally.
I was watching that. You're going to get a kick out of this. They got a new show, Poker Royale.
Yeah.
You'll never guess who the host was.
Gene Rayburn.
No better. Tom Likas.
Tom don't like it?
Tom Likas. He came back to life.
Holy cow.
Unbelievable.
Does he still got that same black leather jacket on?
The same jacket.
Yeah.
The guy said, could you take it off? It smells a little bit.
Can't afford a new one. Okay, thanks for the bad news, man. That's a good place for him. On the Game Show channel, playing poker.
Did Bobby Darin do Splish Splash?
Yes, he did. We're Splish Splash. I was taking a bath. Yeah. Atco Records, by the way. White and yellow label. I do that strictly for Boca Brian because he's very impressed with my... another piece of crap. Now, Frankie Lyman, Why Do Fools Fall in Love? I don't know what the label was, although if I put my mind to it, it was an orange label, the record. See, back in the day, all you punks out there, we used to buy records, 45s, before there were anything like CDs or even cassettes. Records, 45s. Do they even still sell 45s?
I don't know about 45s. They sell records.
Well, I know that. I'm talking about 45s.
I don't know. I mean, used ones, obviously, as far as printing.
No, I'm talking about like new
no.
ones. They don't put singles out on 45 no more. They put them all on CD. It was an orange label. Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Also in The Still of the Night by the Five Satins was on an orange label as well. I better look it up, huh?
Go ahead. I'll play some Bobby Darin while you're doing it.
No, I don't have to play it. Well, we can do this. Yeah, let's hear it. Here's Johnny. I think it's pretty impressive. Bobby Darin, Beyond the Sea. Where'd you get that?
Amazon.
Oh, it's another. Oh, this is a new thing we got now. We can come up with any artist.
It's not new, but yeah.
Well, we've never done it before. It's just a new idea for
They let you preview everything they have on there, so you can just click on it and hear a few seconds.
Right. Well, what about Frankie Lyman and Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Have they got that? Frankie Lyman? There's the Arthur Lyman Group, Yellow Bird. Oh, that was a turd. Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, what's the label? It was on, it doesn't say what label it was on? Are you kidding me? Oh, here it is. It was on G. That's right, G. I almost said G. Or is that G, like Dr. Atkins would say? Don't eat the G. G. You got Frankie Lyman cranked up there?
I'm getting it.
You better get it on there, mister, or else your ass is grass. We'll turn you over to Joyce. You got it?
Getting it. Wait a minute.
I mean, you don't have to choose between his hits because he only had one.
No, but you got to find the right place where it's got the sample screen.
Right.
And I found it. And
see, if I would have let Fix-It come up here and mess with my computer, I could have played it here, but I don't want him anywhere near here.
You made the right choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Buffering.
It's buffering. It's buffering and we're suffering. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you during the break. Can we do the break?
All right.
And then when we come back for that guy, in fact, that guy might want to get out a couple of towels because we're going to play a little Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers and Why Do Fools Fall in Love. Well, where did this come from? What is this all about?
I don't know.
How do we fall in? Oh, that's because we're doing Who Fits the Description, someone who became more popular after death. Well, Frankie Lyman definitely is in that category. I got another one for you, even much better. You'll agree with this big time. Buddy Holly.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that a winner or what?
Like the perfect example.
And who's that retardo guy that played him in the movie, that real geeky actor?
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey. Even the name just, Gary Busey.
Rhymes with UC.
And there used to be a harness racing driver in New York, and his name was Marcel, and the last name was P-U-S-E-Y. Pusey was his name. 28 past 11 at 560 WQM. The main man, Anthony Caliendo at Acceptance Capital Mortgage, says it's time for New Year's resolutions like most Americans. Paying off your credit cards, lowering your debt, cutting your mortgage payments, pulling out cash, investing in real estate are at the top of your list. South Florida is one of the hottest real estate markets in the U.S., so why keep so much equity in your house or pay high interest rates? The main man's New Year's resolution is to give back to the community, and this year they partnered with Kids in Distress with a track record of 25 years of helping over 5,000 abused and neglected children each year. Acceptance Capital is donating a portion of all commissions on every closed loan to this great cause. And if you're in the mortgage business, the main man is always looking for brokers for his 4 convenient locations, too. The main man, call him, Anthony Caliendo, at 1-888-483-LOAN. That's 1-888-483-LOAN, or go to themainman.com and fill out your application right online. Here's the number one more once, 1-888-483-LOAN.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Look at them now, royal families embarrassed. British tabloids writing about Prince Harry, yeah! It made such a big deal about the way he was dressed, and it's man so offended. Why does he get so much attention, alright? Swastika, Harry really messed up. Some more apologies for coming, Harry. Swastika, so inappropriate. Prince Harry, such a dummy.
Don't forget the Brits are mostly Nazi light. It's 11:32, or in his case, Nazi heavy. 28 till noon at 560 WQAM. Who best fits this? Oh, we got the Frankie Lyman yet?
Oh, no, I have it, yes. Wait a minute. Let me pot it up.
Pot? Did you say pot? Frankie Lyman died from some bad pot.
Oh, so that's loaded.
Maybe he died like Elvis, sitting on the pot.
There we go. Hey, that's you.
Where is
Why does it do this? It keeps buffering every single time.
Oh,
sorry, I tested it.
Maybe he's heard some buffering. Yeah, that's enough. Here's Johnny. I started to say before we had to hear Frankie Lyman to pacify that crazy person out there in Radioland. Do you realize, let's see, when did Steve Allen die? About 2-3 years ago?
Okay.
And then Jack Paar.
Right.
And now Johnny Carson. Right.
I want to tell you that it has been an honor and a privilege to come into your homes all these years and entertain you.
Bye, Johnny. There he goes. There goes Johnny. Highly overrated. But nevertheless, I mean, it's inappropriate to say that on this day after he croaks, but it just, it would be inconsistent. I've always said that before, and now the fact that he died, am I supposed to say, man, he was really a lot better than I ever thought he was? No, I'm not going to say that.
In the early days, those clips, those old shows, I guess it was pretty good, but I don't know. He got tired. He lost
what was pretty good?
I don't know.
I mean, there were some moments. I mean, when he and Don Rickles were like wrestling when he was in his bathing suit. They keep showing these little clips, but quite frankly, I could live without it.
I think the phrase is, in its day.
No, I don't know. I don't think in its day it was that great. I don't think now it's that great. I don't think it was ever that great. Jack Paar was great and Steve Allen was great. But this, although compared to Jay Leno, it was spectacular. It was sensational. It was fantastic. Jay Leno is another one of those states of mind. If he didn't have the chin, he would be making like $4. He could make $4 a week without the chin. Now, that's his thing.
Yeah, that's his thing, all right.
Pentagon runs clandestine intelligence gathering infrastructure. Oh, no. The Pentagon's Defense Intelligence Agency since 2002 has run an intelligence gathering and support unit that has authority to operate clandestinely anywhere in the world where it is ordered to go in support of anti-terrorism and counterterrorism missions, a senior defense official said yesterday. The official said the role of the Strategic Support Branch, described first in Sunday's Washington Post, is to provide an intelligence capability for field operation units, including the U.S. military's Secretive Special Forces Unit. The SSB got its name in 2004 after operating under a different, undisclosed name before then, said the official confirmed the unit's existence and mission to the CNN. That goes on and on. It's, what do you expect? Okay? They're doing all kinds of crap under the excuse, it's the war against terror, yada, yada. Everything that's illegal, everything that's clandestine, everything that's infringing on everybody's lives and rights. It's part of the war against terror, just like all that crap. That same crap, too. Wait till you hear this bad news. See, no wonder January 24th is so depressing. First of all, we lose Johnny. Here's Johnny. Friday, you remember, I couldn't stop saying that, and now it goes to show you it's part of my psychic abilities again. I knew he was on the way out.
You told them.
Oh, you eating now already?
Mm-hmm.
How did Atlantic City Sub show up that fast?
They love us.
Oh, I know they do. And they damn well should. Why the hell not?
In Hollywood.
Especially when Scott was there, man. I hope he's long gone from that organization. Because there's a guy that really rubbed me the wrong way. He'd come in there. Remember when he used to give me those things to read on the air? Oh, that was just unbelievable. It's one thing that people bring in food, you give them a nice plug. That's right. Customary. There's nothing wrong with that. But he used to bring in, he'd write stuff out about their Super Bowl party platters. Like, I'm supposed to read this on the air. And then I embarrassed him into buying like 2 spots once. Remember that?
Mm.
They bought 2 spots.
Speaking of plugs,
there's one thing I can't stand is freeloaders ponytail. I mean, no, these ponytails spend a lot of money on the show over the years. And he'd like to be doing it now, too, if our sales department wasn't jerking him around, if they weren't screwing him over. I'd like to know who has that account. It was Skippy before, so that should tell you it was on the way into the toilet. And who's inherited now?
I don't know.
How would you like to have $1,000 in your hand right now for every sales hole who's come and gone since we've been in that building?
Oh, please, would be rich.
Man, oh, Shevitz. Not to mention Scott, what's his name, that was there for like about 5 minutes, and we told him, please don't do this. Scott Schwartz. Remember Scott?
I do.
Our friend Laura's husband?
Professional, sure.
And even look at that picture over there to your right on the wall there. Look at all the pictures. There's Petey Lenny, no mo. There's Frank, no mo. He's not even selling dollar a holler on the street corner anymore. Frank.
Brian
Schmutz, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Screwan, won't see that bitch no mo.
John, we can't say his last name anymore.
Oh, that's right. John Weenus, won't see him in there no more. He's gone. And look what we got left on there. You got Todd Dreck and Fat Boy. Oh, brother.
Hey,
what does that tell you? Adam's a good guy.
That's it.
I guess Troy didn't make the picture, huh?
No, not yet.
Troy! I was thinking about that, about Dan Marino yesterday, and about all the comparisons with Sandy Peyton Manning and Danny Marino. And the fact that, he had those great receivers all those years, Josh, but he had no running game. He had no great running backs.
Right.
He had Mark Higgs, and then, of course, he had Troy Stratford. I mean, when Troy Stratford is your most productive running back, I mean, what does that tell you? Huh? Never had a chance, old Batman lips. Joker lips, I'm sorry.
What kind of sub is that, Josh? Chicken tender.
Okay, it's huge.
Oh, is the chicken tender?
That's right.
Wow. Anyway, here was the bad news I was going to give you. I try to postpone it.
All right.
A new deal is in the works for NBC's Morning Star.
Oh, my gosh.
See, unlike the Beasleys, who when one of their stars is on the verge of getting signed away, like Mad Dog Jim Mandich or the Humper Goldberg, and they sign them up right away to extend their deal and sign, seal, delivered, like the three of us. Unlike that, these people have been hearing all the whispering about CBS wants to stick that bitch on air to replace Dan Rather, and they said, well, we'd rather have her here, because we're desperate anyway at NBC. The peacock is like molting. NBC has begun talks to extend the contract for Today's Show anchor Katie Couric, which would preclude any chance of her jumping to CBS. See, that's the way a real broadcast organization works, Carolyn.
Mm-hmm. Head them off at the pass.
And all you other Beasleys over there, and Joyce, head them off at the pass. And I guarantee you when they extend her contract, they're not going to say, oh, well, if you come in and look at somebody cross-eyed, or if you behave in a way that's not conducive to a pleasant environment, or if you criticize somebody a little bit too much, or if you look at, what's his name? Matt Lauer, cross-eyed, we're going to fire your ass. She's not going to sign that. They're not going to do that. They're not going to browbeat her because they want her. They want her, so they want to be nice to her. They want kissy, 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 as opposed to the Beasley way, which is hissy, 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 as in hissy fight. Because Carolyn, or what's her name, Joyce, she's going to show them how sharp she is with her legal background in medical malpractice, which has nothing to do with radio. She wouldn't know a radio if you stuck 14,000 Bose, those big super radios, up her ass, she would know a radio. And then if you reached in there to turn the dial, she still wouldn't do it. NBC President Jeff Zucker said Friday at the TV Critics Association Winter Press Tour that discussions to keep Katie Couric at the network beyond the 18 months left in her contract are underway, and the new deal is likely to keep her on the Today Show as well. Not that she's any talent, because she's pathetic, but nevertheless, they don't have much. Couric has reportedly been at the top of a wish list of replacement for Dan Rather, who steps down March 9 on the CBS Evening News. But it says here, let's emphasize the word wish. This is TVGuide.com. Even though CBS execs made contact with Couric, she's contractually locked up through May 2006. Just like Mad Dog, I see exactly the same thing, don't you?
All right.
Yeah. Who's contractually locked up with us till the end of this 2005, but nevertheless, we'd like to make sure it stays around a long time. It doesn't jump ship and go over there to 790, which would put them on the map. Right now, they're like off just the edge of the map. They got Joe Rose. They're not doing much. But you put him over there, and then you put the humper over there, and then we're done. We'd be okay, but other than that, the station just shut it off, except from 10 to 2, right?
Right.
It says, by the way, if CBS could get Kirk, wouldn't it make more sense to put her on in the morning? With all the talk about the stature of the evening news anchor, the morning shows are far more important to the financial well-being of the news divisions. Even in third place, CBS's The Early Show makes more than $100 million a year in profit due to the demand for ad time on morning shows. Today, the rating leader makes close to $300 million. But NBC isn't taking any chances. Kirk's salary is currently at $16 million a year. With today's profit, she can probably expect a hefty raise. How do you like that? She's making $16 million a year, this bitch, Katie Couric. Lightweight would be an understatement. To call her a lightweight would be an insult to every lightweight in the universe. Am I right? And she's making $16 million a year. Like they try to tell you, all you Chinese kids, Zion America, baby. Even you got a shot. No talent, no great looks, no nothing. What she got? She look great?
Those shoes.
It's those shoes that did. Imelda Marcos showed her the way.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560.
Anytown at 560 WQAM.
Coming up tonight on Inside the Behind the True Hollywood Celebrity Music Biography Profile Story. He came from Detroit, actually Romeo, Michigan, with a badass name destined for hip-hop. Actually, his real name is Bob Ritchie, and a career spanning decades. Well, actually, it hasn't been very long, and he's been almost completely usurped by Eminem. He's Kid Rock.
People don't know about the things I say do.
Listen, man, I was one of the first white guys to be mixing rock with hip-hop. Dude, I opened the door to rap metal. Dude, I've slept with Pamela Anderson.
Well, whatever. Yes, Kid Rock is so monumentally uninteresting that even the image of a naked Pamela Anderson riding him like a running wildebeest could do little to muster the enthusiasm of our Inside the Behind interviewer.
Come on, dude. Pamela Anderson. You guys suck.
Kid Rock. It won't be long before, when you look up "done" in the dictionary, his picture will be there, right next to Maroon 5. It's a big, juicy, sopping wet look at show business. Tonight on Inside the Behind.
11:45, 15 till noon at 560 WQM. Mad Dog at 2, although, quite frankly. And then we got Mo Howard David at 4. Even more, quite frankly. And then we got Geldy making one of those appearances. 7 to 10, Eddie K at 10 o'clock tonight. No ball games, no nothing. Who best fits this description? Someone who became more popular after death. Jesus Christ, 141. You can't get much more popular than Jesus. James Dean, 25. Elvis, 24. Nicole Simpson, 17. Marilyn Monroe, 14. Kurt Cobain's got 11. Bruce Lee, 10. Jim Morrison, 9. Vincent Van Gogh, 8. Oh, I like the way we spelled that. Oh, man. V-A-N-G-O. It's like that dog, B-I-N-G-O. Remember Bingo was his name? Van Gogh was his name. Patsy Cline, 6. Copernicus, 4. Tupac's got 3. He's got a 3-pack. Buddy Holly's got 1. William Shakespeare, 1. John Holmes, 1. Frankie Lyman's got 1. I can't imagine who that could be. Bobby Darin, Freddie Mercury, and Alfred Hitchcock so far got the big.
Oh!
How do you like that? Even Freddie Mercury? How's that possible?
Because it's not appropriate.
Oh, because he doesn't fit on there? In other words, you think he was more popular alive? Yeah, he's old news now.
By the time he died, the career was long since over.
That's
he was
true.
done touring and.
Right. WQAM, hello.
Yes, how you doing?
Pretty good.
All right, I want to speak with Neil.
Speaking.
All right, I go with Curly Howard.
How about Mo?
Of course, and Shempy, too.
Okay. Curly Howard.
Not anymore.
How about all of them? Huh? How about the Three Stooges?
We could.
I mean, we don't want to, separate them on here. How about just all 3 of them?
Right, the Three Stooges.
Larry, Curly, and... Mo. Huh?
Sure.
Get him on there.
And
please.
Shemp. But not Joe.
Shemp? 567-0560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good day to you.
I have a poll question suggestion for you.
Yeah.
Who's the biggest typecast of all time? I think it's Steve Urkel.
The biggest typecast?
Yes, sir.
What do you think, George?
Please, George, please, George.
We can do it. That's
a good pull. I like it.
Yeah, thanks for your approval.
Okay, thanks.
We'll put William
no
Shatner
problem.
on there.
Thanks for your approval. I think that was the crazy guy.
Wasn't it? Crazy guy?
Oh, yeah. We don't have too many crazy guys. How many we got?
About 30, man.
An hour, yeah. No, that was him. I think he actually finally butched up and spoke. He finally got an idea. And we gave him our approval.
Good idea.
Okay, shall I write that down?
Right. Who's the most
How do we say
typecast?
that?
The most typecast actor or actress.
The most typecast. Yeah, kind of like that one that can't act at all. That's the mafia one that we talk about, Danny Aiello.
Right.
Right? Isn't that one?
William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy. They're always complaining about that.
Are they really? Huh.
Just this morning.
Well, let's not start making the... See, now you're doing the wrong thing. You're starting to make the list.
Right.
We might do this tomorrow or whatever day we decide to do it, but now you're making the list here already, and then they're going to be calling in, for that typecast one, forget about it. If you call in for that poll today, you've had it, okay? You're going to join Johnny Carson. Here goes Johnny and the caller in the box. Okay, that's enough. That must be Doc Severinsen blowing on that thing, don't you think? Mm-hmm. WQAM, hello.
Neil, for that type that, no, I'm just kidding. Never again will I doubt your Patriots, Neil. I betted against them last week and a week before that, and I will not bet against them this week. They are kicking butt. Another thing, they had a special...
Well, I guarantee you, this week they won't lose. I bet you anybody...
Well, you know what I mean, next week.
2 weeks.
They had one of the most special guests of Johnny Carson on a news segment last night, the Amazing Randy.
Right.
Oh, I hate that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had him on in...
where he blows in the envelope?
What's that?
Where he blows in the envelope?
Exactly. The Amazing... No, not the character that Johnny Carson played, the Amazing Randy.
Oh, was it actually
the radio guy, James Randy.
I have no idea who that is.
He
debunks myths and religious kooks.
I have no idea.
Right? Oh, Neil, I thought you would know that by now.
No.
All right, Neil, thanks a lot, buddy.
By now, I'm still learning, man. I'm still learning. But I know one thing. Won't see Johnny no more. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Oliver Neil.
Speaking.
Hey, Neil, first of all, I have a suggestion for the poll and a comment. I'm in Naples, and thank you for being on the air. You're the only one that keeps my sanity. They got every right-wing moron on the radio here all day long.
Exactly, every right-wing moron. You got it. Who was the suggestion?
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus is great.
Right. That's the word.
Right, exactly. Thanks a lot, Pally.
Thanks.
See ya. Nostradamus. In fact, I actually thought of that yesterday when I put this pool thing on there, and then it slipped my mind. I had more important fish to fry, like trying to stay above 10 degrees below zero. Wow.
With the power out?
You know, if I had to choose, and I'm sure we've done this poll before, what one invention could you least live without?
Right, we've done something like that.
Electricity.
Right. Well, because all of the things that it powers.
Right.
Any one of them.
Anything else, I mean, I don't know too many people got a battery-operated TV.
Right.
We have battery-operated radios, but, who the hell cares about radio anymore? I mean, radio's like a dinosaur.
Exactly. Especially AM radio.
Right. Oh, AM radios. History. Get rid of it. But seriously, I mean, electricity, when you're without it, and then, of course, you start thinking, like, well, how did the Greeks and the Romans in the old time, back in colonial days, and all through history, how did people survive without electricity?
They had vase.
No, seriously, don't you ever wonder that?
I've experienced it because I didn't have a TV when I was a Christian all those years. So we do it.
You didn't have a TV when you were a Christian?
That's right. So I'll tell you how we survived.
Oh, no.
Yeah, a lot of heavy petting.
Wow. You must have really been. They must have had your brain inside out.
Yeah, but I got better.
Like when you pull a pair of underwear out of the drawer in the morning and like it's inside out and you got to like turn it back outside in? That must have been what your brain was like.
I came back.
There ain't nothing like being a Christian, baby. I'm not talking about just an ordinary pedestrian Christian. I'm talking about
Hardcore.
a real brainwashed, a real Christian. Wow.
We had people.
WQAM, hello.
How about Jerry Garcia? He's been on tour for about 30, man.
I think that's a good choice, don't you?
Sure, why not?
Jerry Garcia. Oh, you're eating on the air again.
Sorry. So good.
I'm not thinking about food. I had Ruth Chris last night. Big fat meal. Although, I'll tell you, that's one thing about a meal like that. Onion soup, spinach au gratin, and a nice big juicy ribeye steak. Your blood sugar actually is stable, doesn't do anything, because there was no crap in it.
Not a whole lot of carbs.
No carbs. Maybe a little in the cheese or the spinach. Well, I sure do like spinach au gratin. Not like plain spinach, although spinach with butter is okay. You don't like spinach?
Not at all.
Or broccoli?
Right.
I like them both. Broccoli au gratin, which they also have on the menu with Ruth Chris. They got a real good Ruth Chris here in the Hilton Hotel in Toronto, also in Mississauga. The one in Fort Lauderdale, WQAM, hello.
Hey, now, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Katie Kirk's cute as a button, first of all. Sam Kinison for your list. And Robert Creeper's a homo. Wow.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned Robert Creeper, because George and I were conjecturing before the show this morning. The rumor is that from now on, Robert Creeper is going to negotiate all new contracts for the talent at QAM. It'll have just as much oomph, just as much clout as when Greg negotiates them now. None. Yeah, when you shake Robert Creeper's hand on a deal at QAM, in fact, tell Hank and the Mad Dog, if they want to get their deal finalized the way they want it, just make a deal with Robert, have their lawyers type it up, and have a place for Robert to sign it. It'll have every much the impact and the clout that Greg Reed's signature has now, even with the squiggle. When in doubt, they throw it out. You're out, Greg. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Yes, Hank.
I beg your pardon, Hank, what?
Neil Rogers.
Neil Rogers, Hank, Mad Dog, Eddie K, Gildy, Mo. What do you got, Pally? Not much. 5670560. What a moron, man. What an imbecile. Why did you pick up the phone? Why did you go to the effort of having somebody dial the number for you, okay? You just can't cut it, man. It's a task as simple as that in life, and you just can't get the job done. Just, when in doubt, spit it out, baby. Spit it out. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good, Pally.
I've got two religious figures that haven't been touched on for your poll, but first I'd like to say that Jerry Garcia and Sam Kinison made their mark long before their deaths, and I think some of your listeners are getting off cue as people that became more famous.
Sam Kinison is not... who the hell cares about Sam Kinison now?
Well, my two for the poll are...
Wait a minute, Jerry Garcia, I think that thanks to Ben and Jerry's and like Cherry Garcia, I think that, I don't know, I think the Grateful Dead are like bigger now than ever.
Yeah, this is true. But the two that I have for the poll are...
By the way, did you hear Johnny Carson died?
Yeah, matter of fact.
I'm sorry, who you got?
David Koresh and the Reverend Jim Jones.
Excellent. Oh, Reverend Jones?
That one, too.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Yeah, bye.
Okay. David Koresh, you got it?
Yeah. Right.
Reverend Jim Jones, that's the Kool-Aid guys, as opposed to the other Reverend Jones, who called the last caller on Hank's show today. You better You're
gay.
Yeah, you better start giving them a little heads up there on some of those chronic callers.
Well, if we listen. If we would listen.
What do you mean by that? Well, we had already potted it up. The caller was on the air.
No, but from now on, we'll have to listen earlier.
No. I mean, nothing personal with Hank. We just don't listen to sports shows. We don't listen to any show when Stern was on. We don't have time to be listening to the morning show. We're too busy spreading evil rumors about QAM. No, not even, just truth.
Absorbing them.
Yeah, we don't need any rumors, just the truth. I think the only question about today's poll is who's going to be in second place, who's going to be right on Jesus behind. Because Jesus has 160 votes. There ain't nobody can touch Jesus. They might want to touch that Shroud of Turin, or maybe that toilet tank that his daddy signed.
But he can touch you.
Jesus 160, Elvis 31, James Dean 29. We got a good battle there, and quite frankly, who cares about either one?
Neil Rogers on 560 QAM.
This is Mark Morgan. It's the 12 to 1 hour on QAM.
All the wives he's had before, to all the women he's made sore, he threw them from his house to make room for Kamals, that billionaire playboy man whore. To all the wives he's had before, that narcissistic, bad-haired bore. Without cash, he's a chump. I dare say Donald Trump would have no prayer in hell to score. Got rid of Marla and Ivana. He threw them out of Trump Tower. Was this guy smoking marijuana?
Yes.
Or getting high on his power? To all the wives he's had before, there's no question that he'll have more. Melania's number 3, but I can't wait to see who Trump will pick as number 4. To all the wives he's had before, who packed their jewels
turd.
I'll give you caviar to eat.
12:02 at 560 WQM. Happy Monday. Don't believe any of that crap about this being the most depressing day of the year. That's only for the Brits, okay? And what do the Brits know? The Brits don't know Schmidt. Well, actually, they do know because that's probably their last name is Schmidt, right?
Right.
As in Helmut Schmidt, things like that. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and singular wireless lines. We're taking congratulation calls for the Patriots' tremendous smashing victory over the Steelers last night, 41-27, even though it wasn't that close. The final score was not indicative of the game. Is that correct, Josh?
Very correct.
Because I don't know what the hell they did that for at the end of the game. They just basically backed off, and they said, "Oh, we'll let you go down the field and get another touchdown so you don't feel so bad." Isn't that the way it looked?
Pretty much.
Now, what was that? They were playing no defense. They just it was like a scrimmage or something. When he threw that touchdown pass in there, it was okay, well, there you go. There's one for you. Now let's get this over and go get the trophy again. Kind of strange. WQAM, hello.
Typical man, Rod Serling.
WQAM, hello.
Hey there, JFK.
Yes, sir. Who is it?
JFK.
JFK was a more popular. Yeah, I would think so. He's only president less than 3 years. You're right. Okay. JFK, you got it?
Mm-hmm.
Good choice. That is an excellent choice.
Yes, it is.
WQAM, hello. I got another one in the same genre, by the way. What about Martin Luther King?
Okay.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, I would.
Junior? WQAM, hello.
Ernest Hemingway.
Ernest Hemingway is,
Yeah.
Well, I'm not... Yeah.
Just for that.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and singular wireless line. Whatever you say. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Mariconzón.
WQAM, hello.
Neil, when it comes to that football game, you had your finger right on it, and the
Yeah, I
result
did.
of the game, too.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait to see him run up the score again so we can see that sour puss of Coach Cower. What a clown.
Yeah. Something wrong with him. Don't you agree? There's something definitely wrong with him. And Josh says, oh, just because he's got that, well, what did you call it? Scowl?
Emotion?
Yeah, emotion. It's not just emotion. It's like emotion. Everybody's got emotions, but emotion like a crazy person. Like Renfield in Dracula, he had emotions too, but they were like a little over the top. You know what I mean? A little over the top.
Right, but I think it's funny.
You think it's funny?
Yes.
I think it's scary. I think he could be like the next Woody Hayes. He's going to belt one of the players one of these days soon. I could be wrong about that, but he just looks to me like a loose cannon man. He looks like a wild man. Plus, he's got a great record in these playoffs. WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Go on for the poll.
Okay.
I'm Celia Cruz and I am dead now.
Oh, yeah, huge, that's right. People had never heard of Celia Cruz before.
You.
I see. Like other Anglo people ever heard of Celia Cruz?
No, we only heard about her during her death.
Right. That's the point. That's what the poll is.
But that didn't make her popular or big.
Someone who became more popular after death. We didn't say big, but more popular.
No.
Yeah. At least in our crowd.
Yeah, record sales took off.
Get around there. I beg your pardon?
I said those record sales really took off. Not.
More popular. We didn't say more profitable. We didn't say sold more records.
That's the measure of it.
We didn't say sold more movies.
Uh-huh.
Sold more DVDs and BVDs.
It was on the news for
more
a week. That's
popular.
all.
Well, how about this guy? Everybody with the show, we got Celia Cruz going on. Okay, put Celia on there. Don't be don't be so Cuban phobic, whatever that is, or like Stan Major would say, so heterophobic. What a jerk! What a jackass! 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and singular wireless lines. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Bob Marley.
Bob Marley is big now, man. Right.
Yeah,
Bob
man.
Marley. Yeah, man. When you agree with that?
Yeah, man.
Right. No?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gee, scared me there. Bob Marley, no doubt about it. Big, huge. I'll give you another one. Same genre. Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
No?
No, I do agree.
What about Ted Hendricks? What was his nickname? Played for the Colts. Ted Hendricks, the hawk, the beak. Huh? Before your time, Josh. Football player.
He's over there typing. He can't answer you.
All right. He doesn't know who that is anyway. The stork, the beak, the hawk, the something like that. Ted Hendricks.
The pelican.
That's it. Brief. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, I was going to say Bob Marley, but how about Jimi Hendrix?
Jimi Hendrix is a good one. Excellent. Thanks a lot. See, it's that psychic ability again. I have a feeling I know who's going to die yesterday. Oh, no, Johnny. See how people take me for granted the fact that on Friday I had that story from the Inquirer? I mean, what are the odds? And remember, I was like oogling over that picture of Jesse Metcalf, And then I turned around and I said, oh, I can't do that because the other side's got the big story about Johnny Carson's secret medical emergency. The beloved Tonight Show star was unable to breathe. And the fact that he's got this, after the medical drama, Johnny said, I couldn't breathe, I thought I was dying. Well, guess what? Guess what you were, Johnny?
Absolutely correct, sir.
Yeah, you were. You just didn't know it yet. Wow, what a horrible picture. Photo of Johnny taken 2 days before his ordeal shows how bloated he became due to illness, all puffed up like a bullfrog. Just looking really bad. Giving like a little wave there, just a little very low-key little wave like, I'm out. And guess what?
What?
He's out. Oh, I guess who's going to be next? I hate to say it.
I'm thinking.
I'll give you a clue.
All right.
What's it called? Oh, here's what it's...
A greedy bastard.
Oh, yeah.
Showing his age.
Dick Clark, baby. See, there's a lot of difference there. We like Johnny Carson, even if I didn't think his show was all that great and he was overrated. There was nothing not to like. You know, he was okay. He never stole a freight train. Whereas Dick Clark, we found out from Michael Moore, after all of these years, had us buffaloed and thought he was basically a pretty decent guy. And I did like the damn Pyramid show, the 25,000 or 50 or whatever it was, Pyramid. See, now I'll only watch the one that's got Bill Cullen on it. Now, why couldn't Bill Cullen still be alive and Dick Clark be dead? Wouldn't that be justice?
One of those things.
Yeah.
That's God for you.
Didn't you like Bill Cullen? I realize it's...
He was fine.
Yeah, he was good. He was a game show host. In other words, or a gay and a panelist. That was his thing. Like Kitty Carlisle. Right?
Right.
Who was some other game show panelists, professional panelists? Arlene Francis.
Brett Summers.
Charles Nelson Riley.
Sure.
Richard Dawson.
Yeah, I
game
say
show
that
guy.
Every afternoon now we watch match game reruns.
Right, Gene Rayburn?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You know, that show was kind of funny.
What,
I thought so back then, but you know how things are.
No, it is good. Match Game's still good to watch. Marshall Wallace was on there from Laugh-In.
Right.
Every now and then. And right next to Brett Summers once in a while was her husband, Jack Klugman, in the upper left-hand corner. He was on there once in a while, back when he could still speak. Another one, Betty White.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm. White.
Married to Ellen Loudon, who made a hell of a cough drop. And he also was
gay.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, I have two for your poll. I
Okay.
got Tupac Shakur,
Got him.
and then, hold on, then I got Gordon Lamshan.
Gordon what?
City.
What is he babbling about?
I didn't understand a word.
Oh, good. I think he said Gordon Strongfoot. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
It was Jim Proudfoot. Yes, sir.
About Ialea, whatever the heck her name was, and Lacey Peterson.
Aaliyah?
No, from Ialea.
Aaliyah. Yeah, she's big now, Aaliyah. In fact, they're showing her videos now, Aaliyah.
And one more thing. This Friday, could you read a story about Karl Rove, please?
About what?
Karl Rove.
Well, what do you mean read a story about him?
See if you can work your magic on him like you work your magic on Johnny.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, I'll work on it. Thank you. Good idea, yeah. Like the one we did about Johnny. Yeah, Thursday I'll read a story about Dick Clark and then Karl Rove, that roving maniac on Friday. We'll put a hex. How do you like that? And all week long we're going to talk about Joyce. Not that we wish you any ill health, Joyce, or anything like that, or that you should fall and break your neck or something like that. You are definitely the chigger in our woodpile, I'll tell you that, honey. You come along, you know, it seemed to me they were like, even though they didn't want to pay anybody on time, other than that they were fairly reasonable and they minded their own business over there on the West Coast in Naples. But once this broad came along, look out. Now she's going to, come in there and really be the Bush boss. Yeah, and she's going to piss everybody off and turn the place into a nightmare. We don't need any more of this chaos, okay? There is a New Year's resolution for Beasley Broadcasting and Greg Reed. No more chaos in 2005, okay? Cut the crap now. Get it done. And I'm going to tell you, even though we've had, the column, Sarney had a column, and Barry Jackass writes his crap. And let me tell you, Barry, instead of wasting your time writing a whole article this morning about a station that nobody even listens to, that doesn't even show up in the ratings, doesn't make the needle move on a Richter scale, you're not even coming close to getting the real number. No matter how much they write about radio chaos and all the other stuff, you're not even coming close to the shenanigans and insanity that's going on in this company. A company, by the way, which is listed on the NASDAQ Stock Exchange, which passes itself off as a respectable, honorable company, and is like playing fast and loose with people and trying to I don't even know how to describe it. Like a bunch of sadists. Oh, you will sign this and you will sign, no we won't. Oh, you will do it, no we won't. You'd have to be a lunatic to sign this swill that this broad is putting out. Oh, yeah, you got to be nice, and you got to talk nice about this one and be nice about that one. After 6 months of that, we wouldn't have anybody left listening. Why don't we just put the Joyce Fitch show on 24/7? What do you say, huh?
I'd listen.
Here's that bitch, old Joyce Fitch. Here you go. Here she is. Got a theme song for her. Basically, what we got now, we got a peeing contest between her and Greg. That's what it all boils down to. We got a power struggle going on, and he's on the ass losing end right at the moment. His power, it's like on Smallville, you know, when they bring out the
kryptonite.
The kryptonite. When they bring the rocks out. And all of a sudden, poor Clark, he's like wimpy and limpy and wimpy, limpy, and nod. And that's what's going on at QAM now. I think once they cut his hair real short with that faggy Luis Miguel haircut, I think since then he's been impotent. He's been a very impotent guy in the maelstrom of things. 12:13 at 560 WQM. You know, IRS tax problems, there's no doubt about this. They have a way of ruining all aspects of your life. They take a toll on you financially, physically, and emotionally. You can never really forget about those IRS problems. They come back every morning when you wake up in a cold sweat, ready to like pee your pants. CPA Jamie Buchwald of the Buchwald Tax Firm will help end your IRS problems forever and give you back peace of mind. Which is why other top CPA and law firms refer their clients to the Buchwald Tax Firm when they have problems with the IRS. Why not avoid potential criminal prosecution? Get all unfiled tax returns prepared, even if you lost all your records. Now, maybe you got an IRS lien, a wage levy, owe payroll taxes and penalties, or you want to settle for thousands less than you owe or need time to pay. Whatever your dilemma, the Buchwald Tax Firm will get that monkey off your back. They offer you a free initial consultation, affordable and guaranteed fees, and immediate relief from IRS harassment. And best of all, you don't even have to go to those IRS meetings because the Buchwald Tax Firm handles all meetings and discussions. You don't even have to be there. So call them today and get some help, okay? Throw out that life raft. 954-575-2800. That's 954-575-2800. Whether you owe $10,000 or $1 million IRS taxes or anything in between, the Buchwald Tax Firm will help you out. Call them today for that free consultation. There's absolutely no obligation, or visit them on the web at irsfreedom.com and stop worrying about the IRS knocking down that door. Call them today, 954-575-2800.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Greg hates you.
You know, in the State of the State speeches, governors often begin by listing the accomplishments of the past year. Well, I will do the same. Last year, under my administration, we slipped into a financial black hole. And we have other good news. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not curb frivolous and shakedown lawsuits. And we cut the average wait time at the Department of Motor Vehicles to 13 months. Now, that's terrific news. My colleagues, I say to you, this year, we must do two things. Further drive up the spending by billions of dollars, and further destroy the people's faith in their government. Thank you very much, and God bless all of you. Thank you.
We're talking with Austrians, baby. 1217 at 560 WQAM. Who best fits this description? Someone who became more popular after death. Got a good list going. I didn't think we'd have this many people on there, you know? I guess we can get about 200-300 before we're done.
Some of them even longer.
Well, I haven't seen all the ones we put. Jesus Christ, 181. He's in a league of his own. Elvis, 36. James Dean, 34. Nicole Simpson, 29. Doing very well, Nicole.
Right.
That's because we hate O.J. so much, like poison, man. Remember at Emerald Coast they got that duck with hoisin sauce? Let's serve O.J. some duck with poison sauce. Marilyn Monroe, 15. Bruce Lee, 14. Kurt Cobain, 13. Jim Morrison's got 12. I love his cafeterias. Vincent Van Gogh, spelled embarrassingly poorly, 9. Tupac, 7. Patsy Cline, 7. JFK, 6. Anybody ever see Vincent Van Gogh?
There he goes.
William Shakespeare, 5. Copernicus, 4. Buddy Holly, 3. Buddy Holly should be doing much better than that. Are you schmitting me? Buddy Holly's only got 3. Come on now. Cracker, please. Wow. Frankie Lyman, 3. Jimi Hendrix, 2. Bob Marley, 2. Martin Luther King Jr.'s got a pair. Jr. Jerry Garcia, 2. John Holmes has got a pair. Freddie Mercury, 2. David Koresh, 1. Nostradamus, 1. Bobby Darin, 1. And then none yet. Well, they just went on there, a lot of these. Aaliyah, Celia Cruz, The George Protests, Ernest Hemingway, Reverend Jim Jones. Why would you say Reverend Jim Jones is, like, popular now? Would anybody think he know who that is even anymore?
Well, newsworthy. No one knew who he was until the event. I think that's their point. Not that anyone's going to understand this question.
The Three Stooges and Alfred Hitchcock still got it. I can't believe that. Alfred Hitchcock still don't have any?
It's like they still don't know who he is, even though he is dead.
I see. No, I'm not just talking about, obviously we're talking about his movies. The TV show was, that was all right. But the movies, all the great movies, which became cult figures, like Psycho and Rear Window and A Stranger on a Train. And is in these great Hitchcock movies. Rope.
Vertigo.
Smoking the Rope, Vertigo. Jimmy
North by
Stewart.
Northwest.
Right. James Cary Grant.
They're all great.
Saint. What?
They were all great.
They were all great. And now you'd like turn on any of your movie channels on there on your TV, and there they are over and over again, and you can't watch them too much. If one of them comes on, you can't shut it off. It's like The Godfather. If Rear Window comes on there, I mean, can you turn that off? No way.
No. I watched
Jimmy Stewart,
just a month
Grace
ago,
Kelly,
I watched it again
and Raymond
the other day.
Burr. Raymond Burr, who is
gay.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil?
Yes. Yes,
Hi.
ma'am.
Jim Croce.
Oh,
there you
I
go.
love that.
Perfect.
We love Jim Croce. That's perfect.
He was listed on National Lampoon as most famous dead musician.
Right. He was a real smooth operator, I'll tell you that.
Exactly.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
See ya. That's a good one. Jim Croce, operator.
Right. Perfect.
Huh?
Matter of fact, a lot of his stuff was released, wasn't released until he was dead.
Really?
Mm-hmm. His wife released it.
She released it?
After his death, after his crash.
Maybe if she released it sooner, he might have stayed alive. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
How about for your list, Selena?
There you go. Perfect.
That's a good one.
All right, Neil.
Nobody ever heard of Selena until all of a sudden she was dead. Now, calm down now. Got a little carried away. Selena.
Mm-hmm.
How about Aaliyah? We got Aaliyah?
We got Aaliyah.
She didn't have any votes yet, though. Poor Aaliyah. Won't see her no more. And guess what? In case you tuned in late, yeah, Johnny. Here he is. Oh.
Rock solid.
He's still dead. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I wanted to speak with you.
You're speaking with him.
Oh, I got a name for your poll.
Okay.
Selena.
Selena was a fantastic choice.
Thank you.
Thank you, and have a great day.
You too.
What about Selena, George?
I don't know.
You seen her? Selena? Nothing could be meaner than a day with old Selena. That's because she didn't smell too good no more. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Pretty good.
How about Leonardo da Vinci?
Da Vinci is fantastic, just like Vincent van Gogh.
Exactly. And I think I'm giving a prediction for the Super Bowl. Our Patriots are going to probably win 35-10.
Sounds like a wiener to me.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Thanks, Pally.
Bye.
See ya. Although T.O. is coming back supposedly for that game, right?
I doubt it.
I thought they said after the game yesterday he was coming back.
Well, that's what they say, but I doubt it.
So in other words, you got the inside track, you got the inside info?
No, but I mean, he did, break a bone. So
yeah, he broke it.
Takes time.
Now, I think, what's her name broke it? Nicolette Sheridan, she broke it. And anyway, you see where I was going to go with that? I better not.
Yeah, you just stopped.
Yeah. In midstream. No, but seriously, I don't think if he played, it makes that much difference. Just like, all the great running back, the running game of the Steelers yesterday and all this other crap. They were humiliated, degraded, and embarrassed, to be honest with you. The Patriots made them look like an inept, like just another pedestrian team. They mopped up the field with them. That was it. And I think they'll do the same thing with Donovan McNabb and with or without T.O. and all the other highfalutin. They're just another one of those hotshot teams du jour, as they're now saying in the Boston Globe. First it was the Colts, then it was the Steelers. Now it'll be the Eagles, And I'll say it again, just even if the Patriots weren't playing, whoever would be playing in the AFC, I'd root for them against the Eagles because they're fans there. Oh, man. They are just obnoxious and disgusting and grotesque, always have been. Just ask Mike Schmidt, he'll tell you, or anybody else that ever played in any sport in Philly. Brutal. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Name for your poll and also a comment about a statement you made earlier this morning.
Go right ahead.
The name for the poll, John Lennon.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's marginal.
Okay. And you made a statement earlier this morning, you and the guys were talking about how they were upset about the Patriots winning again and this and that. Yet none of the Miami fans had a problem when Dallas was a dynasty, when Joe did, and Washington Redskins were a dynasty, or the 49ers.
Yeah,
but all of a sudden...
But see, there's no rivalry between Miami and any of those teams. There's no natural rivalry. And now we got two teams in the same division, not just in the same conference, but the same division. And the Dolphins have gone so sour at the same time, while the Patriots now 3 out of 4 years they're going to be in the Super Bowl, and so it's just jealousy. There's just rampant, insane jealousy.
That's all it is, insane jealousy.
You got it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And back to you.
Thank you.
Boy,
bye-bye.
that snow I see out there, George, holy moly, you can't see nothing out that window. Look at that.
Well, as long as your power doesn't go out.
Oh, no, that was yesterday. I can't even describe that to you. In fact,
you don't have
I don't want to sound like patting myself on the stomach because it's a big target. But I kept thinking all day yesterday, there's no way I'm going to be working tomorrow. I just can't do it. And I didn't sleep well all night because my whole system was like turned inside out from in fact, I think maybe I might lose 1 foot from frostbite. Not really, and I'll be honest with you, I'd rather lose a foot from frostbite than be in South Florida. I'll tell you that right now. The snow. No, seriously, I really mean that. The snow, the cold, the wind. It's not just the snow and the cold, man. It's the wind. It's the wind just blows, man. It blows. Wow. And so you might lose a couple of toes, or maybe like a piece of your nose.
That's how it goes.
Right. That's what the hoes say. 5670560, pound 5. Yeah, that Manhunter is a pretty good movie.
It was good with Brian Cox.
But I still say I saw that guy, the guy that played the.
I'll research him right now because he creeped me out in that movie.
Yeah, he's a very creepy guy. And then what about when he had the sex scene with that blind chick? What was that? See, I was watching pieces of it because by that time the game was basically over and done with, but I was flipping back and forth, so I didn't see it like non-interruptus. It'll be back on again.
So now you need to see Red Dragon so you compare them, because they're actually a little bit different.
Well, which one was first? Red Dragon was
first. The one you
first,
saw.
right?
No. The one that you
really?
saw. Manhunter was first, and then Red Dragon is a remake of that, but they changed it around. So it ends differently. Different things happen, but that's part of the story. That was all in the book. The blind chick, the affair with the blind chick, and all that.
Now, did she wind up alive? Did she come out of that thing alive?
I ain't telling you nothing.
Oh no, that's okay. I'll have to watch it again.
It has to do with the ending of both of them. So.
I'll be damned. Oh, at least nobody in this movie said Dr. Lecter.
No,
there was no Jodie Foster,
corn.
thank God.
No.
This was, in fact, the write-up in my movie book just was glowing about a phenomenal, spectacular. It was good.
Oh, as a matter of fact, you have to see the new Red Dragon because one of your favorite character actors is in that. You know the reporter that wound up in the wheelchair?
The reporter that wound up in the wheelchair.
Philip Seymour Hoffman,
Raymond
I think
Burr?
is the guy's name.
What do you mean he wound up in a wheelchair?
In Manhunter. Oh, you didn't see that part?
Yeah, I saw the part when he was sitting in the chair and he said, "Please let me go." Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So
that was Philip Seymour Hoffman?
No. In Red Dragon, it's Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, I see. Because I thought, boy, he sure changed. He sure felt the change.
And he likewise does a very good job in that movie.
He's a good actor. Very good. You'd also enjoy him as Freddy in Talented Mr. Ripley if you'd ever watched that movie.
One of these days.
Freddy. It's a little...
Gay.
Freddy's not gay, though. He's got girlfriends all over town. 27 past noon at 560 WQAM. When you shop for quality footwear, what store immediately should come to mind? Brandy's, you got it. Remember that song, Brandy, by...
Looking Glass.
Looking Glass. Very good. I never would have come up with that today. I don't know why. Got bigger fish to fry.
Cold.
Huh?
Frostbite head.
Is that what it is? Yeah, but I came up with that Sarah McIntyre from Guiding Light and Kevin Bacon. Anyway, Brandy's in Pompano Beach is just unbeatable because they give you the combination that everybody's looking for. They take good care of you, make sure you get a perfect fit every time because their salespeople, they take the time to make sure of that. And number two, they give you unbeatable prices. And number three, the top quality names in all your men's and women's shoes. Rockports, Florsheim, SAS, Sperry, Timberland, Naturalizer, and lots more, which is why Brandy's is still going strong while others are come and gone. Zillions of them. Brandy's is opened every day of the week, Monday through Saturday, 9 till 9, every Sunday, 10 to 5. And you'll find Brandy's shoes at 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. It's always worth the trip. And this week is a great time to buy New Balance, which everybody with a brain loves New Balance shoes. They're fantastic. This week at Brandy's, save up to $20 a pair on great New Balance shoes. So be sure to come into the store this week, or you can do your shopping online at brandysshoes.com.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Me $50.
In the first interview she's ever given, Amber Fry recounts her entire tortured relationship with Scott Peterson, of romantic gifts, pillow talk, and lies. It ended in a courtroom, but it began with a blind date.
He opened the door. I thought he was handsome, and he just wanted to f***, and nothing more than that. So I thought, wow, okay.
Scott had told Amber he was married, and tearfully declared his love for Lacey.
He's sitting, right in front of me here, and we're holding hands, and he's like, "You're not angry?" And I said, "No, how can I be angry? I understand."
But soon, she came to feel she had a mission, to study ocean currents in San Francisco Bay. And she bought a second-hand fishing boat.
I was going to do whatever I needed to.
The next day, Amber Fry, the other woman, dumped Lacey Peterson into the chilly waters of San Francisco Bay.
I know it sounds crazy, but I was thankful that there was a missing pregnant woman, and nobody knew where she was at.
Is it fair to say, Amber, that you had something to do with her disappearance?
Yeah.
Scott had nothing to do with her disappearance?
Correct.
What were you thinking at that time?
She couldn't breathe, and I had a good feeling, almost like putting salt on a wound.
I'm dealing with a sociopath here.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know what's really good? Rolaids Extra Strength Cool Strawberry.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have indigestion or anything like that, but it's just I happen to have a big... I just bought these because every now and then, you get like some bad heartburn, especially when you have GERD and IBS.
I like the Pepsid. So I printed out this guy's...
No, I'm not talking about for heartburn. I'm just talking about like for a snack.
Oh, for candy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just picked this up because I went to look out the window. Man, it is blowing snow again. What is this crap all about? You'd think it was winter or something like that.
You'd think. So Tom Noonan is that guy's name.
Tom Noonan?
And
what guy's name?
The guy that played Hannibal, the killer in Manhunter.
Yeah.
The Tooth Fairy, I guess.
Oh, yeah, the really bizarre...
Tom Noonan, and he's been in a million things. I've seen some of these things, but I don't know if you have.
He's a very scary guy.
Yeah.
Like Luca Brasi.
Heaven's Gate, Willie and Phil, Wolfen, Easy Money, Eddie Macon's Run, Best Defense, Man with One Red Shoe with Tom Hanks. You must have seen that.
Oh, yeah.
RoboCop 2.
Tom Hanks is wearing a red shoe?
Apparently. I just...
Was that before or after he started eating them chocolates? Anyway, who best fits this description? Someone who became more popular after death. This is a good poll today. Somebody came up with that on Friday, right? Somebody called it in. Thank you very much. 449 votes. The people with no votes yet, Alfred Hitchcock, he can't buy a vote. Ernest Hemingway, none. Same person. Celia Cruz and Aaliyah don't have any, and John Lennon don't. I don't know about the John Lennon one. I don't know if he really ought to be on there.
No.
Huh?
I say no, but what do I know?
Well, it's right on the borderline.
I don't think so. Just because they made a lot of news when they died, which he did, because he was so huge when he was alive.
Yeah, he couldn't be any more famous than he was in life. So, but we'll leave it on there. It won't get any votes. Bobby Darin's got one. Selena's got one. Freddie Mercury's got a pair. John Holmes has two. Three Stooges 2. Nostradamus 2. Jerry Garcia's got a pair. Reverend Jim Jones has got 2. The Reverend Jones. Martin Luther King's got a pair, Junior. Jim Croce's got 2 already. He just went on there. That's an excellent one. Frankie Lyman 3. David Koresh 3, Copernicus 4, Buddy Holly 4, Bob Marley 4, Jimi Hendrix 4, William Shakespeare 5, Patsy Cline 7, JFK 8, Vincent Van Gogh 10, Tupac 10, Jim Morrison 12, Kurt Cobain has got, my laundry's done on the dryer, you hear that?
No.
Kurt Cobain 14, Marilyn Monroe 16, Bruce Lee 17, Nicole Simpson's got...
About 30, man.
Elvis 38, James Dean 39. See the battle, a desperate battle for second. Behind Jesus, which nobody can touch Jesus, 203. You can be touched by an angel, but only pray to be touched by Jesus, wouldn't you think?
He can touch you.
Can he?
Isn't that what Linda Blair was saying?
Now, let me ask you, so after Jesus, after this resurrection and he came back and all of this good stuff happened, what happened then?
He arose again. He ascended.
He left us?
Yeah, he went back to heaven. But he'll be
to
back
again
for the second coming. He sits at the right hand of God, and he watches all this fun stuff like tsunamis and happening, He's there for moral support.
Oh, I see. Well, he has wasted a lot of valuable time, I'll tell you that.
He's your advocate, don't you know?
He writes in The Advocate?
All the time.
He must be.
Gay.
WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes?
You forgot to put Biggie Smells on there with Proof Duty.
How'd that guy know I just farted?
Oh, God. WQAM, hello.
Neil,
yes,
I got
sir.
one for your poll.
Uh-huh.
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, an excellent choice. He's already on there. 5670560. I just got through reading the whole night. Did we not put him on there? Did we fail to put him on? I'm sure we put him on, didn't we?
He's on there.
Okay, don't get defensive now, but I don't see it.
I see him. He's got faux.
He's got faux. Jimi Hendrix knows what faux. Oh, Ed McMahon on Larry King tonight. Any interest?
No.
No, I'll be sure to miss that. Here's Johnny. Here's Drunken Eddie. Yeah, just for those American Publishers sweepstakes or whatever the hell it is, that alone, it should have been Ed McMahon and not Johnny. We like Johnny. Ed, we could live without, Piece of turd. WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Happy Monday to you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. First for your poll, how about George Orwell?
George Orwell became very popular after 1984, that's correct.
Neil, I wasn't able to get back to you. I got that Howard Dean information for tonight. Can I give it to you?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Well, you were going to fax it to me, but you go right ahead.
You're not going to listen to this? I got into a car accident on the way to the office, and it was with a car that had a W04, and they rear-ended me. And my bumper, not my bumper sticker, but my window sticker said, any Republican who votes, any working person who votes Republican is like a chicken who votes for Colonel Sanders, and boy, did we get into it.
Really?
It was really funny, man. But do you still have that paper?
All those right-wingers are a pain in the ass. Do I still have what?
That paper, so I could call. It's still the same phone number, I think,
all right,
man.
just hang on. Don't get pushy now. I still have it here.
I'm very excited, Neil. Can you tell?
No. Let's see.
Okay.
Here's Howard Cosell for the poll.
Exactly.
The poll like a week ago. Well, I got a whole bunch of crap here. Now, I did have it the other day. Oh, here it is. I got it right here. See? How do you like that?
I love it.
Because I love Howard Dean. We love you, Howie. Let's see. It says Bud Russell, David Sauceville, and Jim McDonald, who drives at Pompano occasionally, not very well. Join them for a reception with Governor Howard Dean, benefiting Democracy for America, and that's tonight?
Yeah, let me tell you, again, the venue's Miami Beach, but I'll give you the number and you can cross-check it. It's 305, yeah, baby, 604-1906.
Right.
And that's the number they can still call. It's at a private residence, but if you could just plug it and give me a little Deanie screams, I'd love it, man.
Well, wait a minute. What does that mean, a private residence? In other words, it's not going to be...
Oh, no. Yeah, it was at the Hyatt, I think, remember?
No, Sunset Harbor South.
Okay, yeah, now it's on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Pennsylvania Avenue?
Yes, my friend.
Yeah, he only wishes he were on Pennsylvania Avenue.
Isn't that ironic? But it's at the... I can fax this to you. I don't know if I'm going to get to the office.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. Our fax machine's messed up.
1545 Pennsylvania Avenue. It's in Miami Beach at a private residence.
Oh.
But the phone number is still the same. It's from the Democracy for America website. If people want to go check there, they could probably find it there too. If they don't,
6 to 7:30 tonight, and it says host $100, $50 a couple, $25 per person. What does that mean?
It's still, you got to pay to get in. You can contribute $5,000, but it is a pay event for the Democracy for America. It's a fundraiser. It's still 6 to 7:30. It's $25, one person.
A fundraiser for what?
Democracy for America. That's Howard Dean's organization. Go to the Go to the website, Neil, if you're feeling a little weary, but that's his own.
Oh, I'm feeling weary, all right. Believe me, after yesterday, after being freezing my ass off and took us. Okay, good luck to you, pal. Say hi to Howie. We love him.
Neil, did you bring one of your vets up to Toronto or no?
No, absolutely not. Do you think I want a car up here in the ice and the snow? I have to be a lunatic.
Exactly, brother. See you at the Sawgrass.
Okay, good luck, pal.
Later.
We'll see with Castronova at the Sawgrass. I'll see you at the Eaton Center. You know what I'll be doing at the Eaton Center?
Eaton.
That's it. Yeah, I'm looking out there. It's not looking too promising. I think I may have to take a cab to get some of my duties done today. They got my rounds, drop off a FedEx here and a thing over there. It's looking a little on the blustery side. Remember Mr. Bluster?
No.
On Howdy Doody? Come on. Don't remember the Howdy Doody show, Mr. Bluster? Princess, Summer, Fall, Winter, Spring?
No.
Sure you do. Dayton Allen?
No.
Why
I
not?
saw some stills of the Howdy Doody show.
Yeah, they had a still. That's why Buffalo Bob always seemed juiced. They had a still in the back. That's why I used to talk to puppets all the time.
That corn liquor sure is special.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. It's the Auschwitz Remembered. Prince Harry is going to be there. He's having a celebration. You don't understand. It's like something somber and grotesque that they're commemorating. You don't understand. He's having a party there, the royal family. 1241 at 560 W. In fact, I'll tell you what, since we worked so well on Johnny, that's just called Wolf. How about a few stories about the British royal family? Sounds good. About the Queen would be good, huh? Yeah, that old bitch. That old uptight bag who's running around that little, speaking of bags, that little silly purse. Oh, did you see the thing? Oh, look at that. Look at, what's that guy's name from the Jewish...
What's his name?
Huh? What's his name?
Ariadzer.
Elie Wiesel. Are you looking at CNN right now?
Hair. I am now.
Look at that hair.
Not
what is
since
that?
Einstein, boy. Hey, Donald.
Elie Wiesel. He's from the Jew people. He says, what did you people think was going on there anyway at Auschwitz?
Weenie roast.
Is that it? Now, I was starting to say something so important just until I got sidetracked there by Elie Wiesel, and I forget what the hell it was. Something like just cataclysmic. Well, that'll come back. Or not. 1242 at 560. If I sound a little bit, first of all, the freeze-in day yesterday, and then, of course, all of that news about Hank and Joyce. I cannot survive much more of this, Even though I keep telling myself, okay, you got your deal done. They're actually paying you early now because they're sucking around so heavy-duty with me after, incurring my wrath. But it's just hard to work in a vacuum, What they're doing to good people who they want to keep them around, but it's like keeping, like you got a beautiful, this is just hypothetical. If you had a beautiful young hot wife who was a great cook and a wonderful mother and all of these things, and just kept beating the crap out of her for no particular reason at all, like an invitation to leave, which is what they're doing with Hank and the Mad Dog. There's no reason for it. Cut it out, Joyce. Stop the crap now.
Speaking of crap.
Yeah.
If you hear any background crap, it's the fax machine getting worked on.
Who's working on it?
We're trading it out in order to get it done right away. Jose over here from is it
we're
Prime
swapping it out?
Printer Tech in Broward County.
Oh, thanks to Printer Tech in Broward County. We love them profusely. Thank
Annie
you.
called us. We'll give her a full-on plug as soon as they fix it. You know,
Good. Yeah, as soon as they fix it right. If they fix it wrong, we're going to rip them an ass. 12:43 at 560 WQM. Hey, if you decided to start the new year off right and lose some weight like Ann Bancroft said in Fatso, and maybe you're trying to do it with the Atkins, the South Beach Sugar Busters, or some other low-carb, sugar-free diet, then head for Delights of West Boca. I think that the Rolaids, I think it doesn't solve the indigestion. I think it gives it to you, but it sure does taste good. You can chew them like for hours. Even TV's biggest losers are following a low-carb diet, and their weight loss is absolutely incredible. For years, Delights has helped thousands of low-carb dieters achieve their weight loss goals. Delights of West Boca is your low-carb, one-stop shop for the right supplements and best selection and best-tasting low-carb foods. Stop in and try any of their over 1,200 low-carb products like their brand-new chocolate-dipped cheesecake on a stick and their famous Carbolite soft serve ice cream. Their staff knows low-carb dieting inside and out, and they'll help you out. And they're open every day till 10 in the p.m. And don't forget at Delights, their guaranteed lowest price policy on all Atkins, Carbolite, and Pure Delight products. Delights of West Boca will positively not be undersold. You'll find Delights on the northeast corner of Glades and 441 right next to Boston Market, or call them toll-free, 1-877-LOW-CARB, that's with a W in there, LOWCARB, or on the web lowcarb.com. Delights of West Boca, don't forget, they're the official Atkins Retail Center.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning.
Hank Goldberg, weekdays 7 to 10.
One station.
Sports Radio 560, WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
George, I read that U.S. forces have discontinued their search for WMDs.
Those weapons of mass destruction got to be somewhere.
George, you promised you'd find them.
I will not rest. Nope, no weapons over there.
George, what are you doing?
No weapons over there.
Mr. Bush, I'd switch the medication if I was you. George, chill.
Nope, no weapons over there.
Lay down. Heel.
Nope.
Time out.
Nope.
Out.
12:47 at 560 WQM. Speaking of your fearless leader, global warming has already hit the danger point that international attempts to curb it are designed to avoid, according to the world's top climate watchdog. In other words, we've reached the point of no return. Although, of course, there is no such thing as global warming, right?
That's reassuring. No,
just
not that we can't do anything about it.
Right. Dr. Rajendra Pachauri, the chairman of the official intergovernmental panel of climate change, told an international conference attended by 114 governments in Mauritius this month that he personally believes that the world has already reached a level of dangerous concentrations of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and called for immediate and very deep cuts in the pollution if humanity is to survive.
Oh, my God.
His comments rocked the Bush administration, which immediately tried to slap him down, not least because it put him in the post after Exxon, the major oil company most opposed to international action on global warming, complained that his predecessor was too aggressive on the issue. In other words, they put him in there thinking he was going to be a softie and do a little cover-up like his predecessor, and he's even more aggressive. They just can't get everybody to lie for him. What a shame. Kind of sounds like Greg. A memorandum from Exxon to the White House in early 2001 specifically asked it to get the previous chairman, Dr. Robert Watson, the chief scientist of the World Bank, replaced at the request of the U.S. The Bush administration then lobbied other countries in favor of Dr. Pachauri, whom the former Vice President Al Gore called the Let's Drag Our Feet candidate, and got him elected to replace Dr. Watson, a British-born naturalized American who repeatedly called for urgent action. Remember Dr. Watson, 221B Baker Street?
No.
But this month at a conference of small island developing states on the Indian Ocean Island, the new chairman, a former head of India's Tata Energy Research Institute, Tata, I could say it another way, but I better not.
Don't.
Himself issued what top UN officials described as a very courageous challenge. He told delegates, climate change is for real. It is real. We have just a small window of opportunity. It's closing rather rapidly. There is not a moment to lose, said Watson. And Holmes said, the needle, Watson, quickly, the needle. Afterwards, he told The Independent on Sunday that widespread dying of coral reefs and rapid melting of ice in the Arctic have driven him to the conclusion that the danger point the IPCC had been set up to avoid has already been reached. In fact, Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose were singing in the background, too late to turn back now. You think?
Right.
Reefs throughout the world are perishing as the seas warm up. As water temperatures rise, they lose their colors and turn a ghostly white. Partly as a result, up to a quarter of the world's corals have been destroyed. And in November, a multi-year study by 300 scientists concluded that the Arctic was warming twice as fast as the rest of the world and that its ice cap had shrunk by up to 20% in the past 3 decades. Isn't it great that the Democrats did such a good job of making this a key issue in the election? And of pointing out this to the American public? Not. The ice is also 40% thinner than it was in the 70s and is expected to disappear altogether by 2070, which that's like 65 years from now. I'll be dead. And you will too. You too, Josh. Maybe not. You will. And while Dr. Pachauri was speaking, parts of the Arctic were having a January heat wave with temperatures 8 to 9 degrees centigrade higher than normal. 8 to 9 degrees centigrade higher, not just Fahrenheit, which is more, much more.
Right.
He also cited alarming measurements, first reported in The Independent on Sunday, showing that levels of carbon dioxide, the main cause of global warming, have leapt abruptly over the past 2 years, suggesting that climate change may be accelerating out of control. He added that because of inertia built into the Earth's natural systems, the world was now only experiencing the result of pollution emitted in the 60s, and much greater effects would occur as the increased pollution of later decades worked its way through. He concluded, we are risking the ability of the human race to survive.
Oh, my God.
That's all a bunch of commie pinko propaganda. Cover it up. That's what your friend Bush says. That good, devout Christian. At any rate. Now, what's this thing that you just sent me here?
What? I actually sent you something?
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. That means the fax machine's working.
Oh, there's a page here that says, this must be your setup thing on the SN there.
Okay.
Send error report for the Neil Rogers show, something like that. Well,
right.
What is that?
That's
well, anyway, but here's the page that came through, the filmography for Tom Noonan.
Right. That was our test page we were trying to send.
Now, what have I seen him in?
Oh, all right.
Wang Dang.
Excuse
What's
me?
that? That's what it says
say it
here.
again,
1999, Wang Dang. I don't think I've seen any of these movies, but I have seen him in something. Oh, The Last Action Hero.
I thought you saw that. It was an Arnold movie.
Manhunter. The Man with One Red Shoe.
Tom Hanks movie.
Ooh. Eddie Macon's Run. I don't think so. Easy Money. Willie and Phil.
Are you sure?
Heaven's Gate. Maybe I saw Heaven's Gate.
Chris Christopherson.
Oh, God. And a bunch of other stuff. Okay, well, I'll put that in the bottom of my pile. Right underneath Johnny. Here's Johnny. They're going to be, let's have another panel. We're going to have Ed McMahon tonight and 20 more panels on Johnny Carson. What do you say, huh?
Uh-huh.
God, what a disgusting piece of turd you are, Larry. To know you is to despise you. How come I sound so filled with hate today? I think Joyce did it to me, you know?
I don't know.
I was in such a good mood. The Patriots kicked ass last night. No contest. It was just a machaya to watch it. Oh, it was great. Even after, like, thawing out. And, of course, that great dinner at Ruth's Chris. What's not to like, right?
Right.
Nice, big, juicy ribeye. Have you ever tried the cowboy ribeye that's got the bone in, you know? The big, heavy-duty steak?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've
that's
had
for,
them
like,
before.
real men. That's for big eaters.
I like fillets.
Do you? It's like petite fillet, like for little lady?
Not petites.
Petite.
The big ones.
Petite, like little feet. 567. Oh, and speaking of little feet.
Little feet.
Oh, boy. If I ever hear little feet, if anybody ever mentions that again.
Why? What's wrong with little feet? Oh.
I'm not talking about little feet on your legs. I'm talking about little feet singing. Or trying to sing. Why, you like little feet?
I didn't have a problem with them.
Get out of here. That's because you never worked at Zeta with Petey Bolger. He had a little feet obsession, man. He was obsessed with little feet.
He had a feet fetish?
Yes. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I have a corn sighting over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm going through my dial, and I thought Defo wasn't supposed to be on until tonight. But he's got that retread sports trivia show on already Saturday morning.
Oh, my God.
Oh, not with the Pauly man.
Oh, where every answer to the first question is A.
Oh, brother.
Oh, boy. I almost pulled over the car and threw up.
Isn't that something? It must be part of his deal. Wherever he goes, he gets to whore the Saturday morning deal with that trade-out show his, so he can pull another one of his famous scams. That old...
Engine killer.
Wow.
The only difference is this one wasn't sponsored by the engines. It's sponsored by another company or something.
Another scam, yeah. Okay, thanks for the bad news, Pally. Thanks. I guess that guy's right. The radio pollution. See, it's not just carbon dioxide. Maybe it's the airwaves that are polluting so bad. You think that could be it? Maybe that's why the whole world is going to hell in a handbasket. All this swill that's polluting coming out of your speakers, coming out of radios. Of course, I don't think that would be it because not too many people are listening to these things that like what he's talking about. Yeah, see, Barry Jackass, you're not fooling anybody. That 1400 goes belly up pretty much, and he's right in there. Oh, well, they're facing problems with the crappy signal that nobody can hear. And also ESPN 790 and, like an afterthought, QM 560 that had the big numbers in the book on Friday, Barry. Big, humongous, smelly numbers. Huge, big, fat numbers, okay? And ESPN radio, well, let me just say this. Yeah, like that. And I would play the fart sound, but we can't. Joyce.
If I move the microphone a little bit, you'll be able to hear
I'm going to tell you, if they didn't have Joe Rose, they might as well shut that transmitter off, okay? Stu Gott's my ass. Stu Gott's. The same dribble moving around from one spot on the dial to another spot on the dial. It was 1700 the fan, 1400, 790. Just all these same people are like Carl Foster, want to play radio, want to play sports radio. I'm a sports expert, yeah. Stugotz and Daniel Bastard, okay? Oh, the Marlins didn't win the World Series. The Cubans, we won it. The Cubans, okay? What a disgusting, I mean, it's just incomprehensible. That would be like if, who the hell's he play for now? Jeff Garcia.
The Browns.
No, that's right, the Brownies. If the Browns won a Super Bowl ever, like in the next, well, of course they won't. But if they did, it would be like somebody, Jeff Garcia saying, oh, the Browns, the team didn't win it, the Fags won it. It's a stupid thing like that, right? Wouldn't that be disgraceful and disgusting? It might be honest, but disgusting, the Browns. There are no Cleveland Browns. See, this is the old classic bait and switch. You know, get a bunch of people, put a certain uniform on them, and then like, oh, here, poof, you're the Cleveland Browns, you know? Poof. Like the Dolphins, take a bunch of, AJ Touchy-Feely, put a uniform on. Hey, poof, you're a quarterback, huh? You know, like the quarterback I ever seen. Who's going to be the Dolphin quarterback next season, Josh?
Probably him.
Are you serious?
I would think so.
Probably him, AJ Touchy-Feely? You have to be kidding me. That has to be a joke. Huh? This is what the Nick Saban era is going to usher in? That's what we have waiting? I say we. That's what you got waiting on you? Is AJ freaking Touchy-Feely?
Oh, my God.
Exactly.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
And I'm up in Boca Chica slapping old women with painted lips around the pool. I listen to the Neil Rogers 1 to 2 hours. I listen to the Neil Rogers Fair and Balanced 1 to 2 hours. Rectum.
I just saw Brad Pitt starring in Troy.
All right.
I was squirming in my seat, oh boy.
Absolutely.
'Cause I'm talking about his gorgeous butt.
Rectum.
Can't believe I saw his derriere.
Yes.
Back then none of the men wore underwear. Brad's buns are the cutest. Because I know that they're sweeter than most men. And even beats out than Helsing's Jackman.
Are you sure?
'Cause Brad Pitt's butt cheeks are the best. Oh yeah, Brad's buns are the cutest. Baby, I know. Hope his next rolls are nudist.
He ain't no Jared Leto, I'll tell you that. Trust me when I tell you, or not, as the case may be. 102 at 560 WQM. I bet you got that fax I just sent back, right?
We're doing a little bit of fax machine cleaning in here with a really wonderful smelling solvent.
Really? Oh, are you sniffing it?
You can't really help it.
Printer Tech Inc. is fixing our fax machine, thank God. So they faxed this to me, and I faxed it back, and you got it, huh?
Yeah.
And there's actually something else coming in there because it's starting to beep, make those beeping sounds. As a matter of fact, yesterday morning I woke up about 8:30 in the morning, and I heard beep, beep, and of course you're like incoherent when you wake up, but like something had happened, you know, like the power went out. Because even though you're asleep, like when the refrigerator goes off, or there's just that whole sense of when the power is running.
Sure.
Or like the heat is on, and all of a sudden, like everything goes, and you wake up, and I heard beep, beep, and it was the power pack here that we have in the studio, you know?
Right.
The battery pack that runs for like a half an hour. Remember that one time on the air
Sure.
ran, and then I had to do the rest of the part of the show on the phone? And that was the first inkling I had that something was not kosher. And I looked out the window, and all the neon lights were not good. All the stoplights, not good.
Hey, Josh, come in here and take a hit of this.
All right. And you think people there don't do the four-way stop real good? Holy Toledo, man, as Rick Weaver would say. How's Rick Weaver doing? Huh?
I'm feeling no pain. Kind of like
you know
me.
something? I can smell that on this page.
Whew.
Now, how's that possible? This is my paper. How's that
smelling your own ink? Contacts high.
Oh, no, it's Smellifax. Holy cow. Let's see. Here on PR Ralph, it's his fax. It says, I hate you and will tell you why. On Saturday, take the wife to 2J's Deli. A great matzo ball soup's a way of lunch. Then she wants to go see the puppies. I said no, but 700... This is great. It's the power of...
Neil, God!
$700 later, we now have 2 Jack Russell Terriers, and I have a drinking problem. I love the dogs, and all thanks to you. There you go, PR Ralph. Be good to the dogs. You can call one of them Neil, one of them George. Isn't that cute?
I'm surprised you don't like Little Feet. They wrote a song about you.
I don't like Little Feet.
This is Fat Man in the Bathtub.
Oh, look, there's another system coming through. That's why I was blowing and snowing before, but guess where it's all going right now? You know something? See, one thing, I would rather be in Florida than, and I'd rather be anywhere than upstate New York. If Florida is the anus of the universe, then upstate New York is like the colon. It's like the liver. It's all the sludge and, well, you know, the liver is like a cleansing thing. All the sludge and muck goes through your liver. That's upstate. This whole system, it's almost gone through here. The snow has stopped. It was like about a 10-minute ordeal. Guess where this big blob of mung is going right now?
Right at you, Toronto.
No. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's already gone through here, mister. It's going right to Buffalo and Rochester and Ithaca and Syracuse. Yeah. Oh, how does anybody ever survive growing up in upstate New York? Geneva, Canandaigua, Penn Yan, Irondequoit, Honeoye Falls, Oneonta. All of these things. Albany, Schenectady, and you know what the other one? Part of the Tri-Cities? Albany, Schenectady, and Troy. Oh, Fredonia is Buffalo. And Depew and Hamburg. Anyway, here's a fax from Bill in Fort Lauderdale. Where the hell's he been lately? He says, although there have been many musicians and artists throughout history who have been more popular after death, I would say the one who became most popular after having practically no notoriety during his tragic life was Ludwig von Beethoven. Ludwig von. Good choice, Bill. Good one. Ludwig von.
Duh.
P.S. What does that say?
I don't know.
Got a screen. Oh, that's the Jeff Garcia thing.
Yay.
Oh, do we still have that? Where do we have that Jeff Garcia drop?
In the vault.
You got it, Josh? Got a screen. Oh. You got it?
No.
Oh.
He's got a
search. Somebody take it out? Or you just can't find it?
No, he just doesn't remember what it was under. It's not the BCS. Remember, you have to know the exact name of it.
This is a very, thank God that Paxson didn't stick us with that. Remember that deal when we first went to Paxson? They tried to peddle us that audio vault. And then remember when Greg first got the audio vault? Oh, we got the audio vault. We were still playing mushy carts for like 6 months afterward. Yeah, right. That should have told us everything we need to know. When we first started on this radio station, they were playing muddy old carts. I'm talking commercials that people were paying a lot of money for. Although back in the beginning, the only thing we had on were like sports books and limp unit spots. That's it. Right?
Male inadequacies.
Right. And that's all we had. They had nothing on the air. Like Greg said, till you came here, we had no ratings. To which I said...
Absolutely correct, sir.
But you might as well look at the Humper and Mad Dog got big ratings, too, because everybody loves them now, so you might as well want to take care of them and get that Joyce off their back and stop trying to play fast and loose with their lives. I think you're right. I think the Mad Dog's a lost cause. I hope not, but I think they've chased him away. I think he'll do the professional thing. He'll play his time out the rest of the year, and then he'll be gone, which would be really sad. Elmer says, could you add, this is a very good one, Princess Diana, and also a sports figure, Pat Tillman. Those are both very good ones, because unless you're a sports nerd, who ever heard of Pat Tillman, right? I mean, he's a good player, right. But most people certainly wouldn't have heard of Pat Tillman. But after he died in Afghanistan, he was like a superstar.
Correct.
As opposed to all these other soldiers who die in Iraq and Afghanistan who get like 3 seconds. And I got to be honest with you, as much as I watch CBS Evening News for years and will, it's very disturbing. Do you ever see the thing they do on their fallen heroes at about a quarter up?
Yes.
That's disturbing to me because it's like it kind of like legitimizes the fact that these people are being made a human sacrifice, and instead it's kind of like this glorious and they loved their family and they loved football, whatever, It's like legitimizing their death, like they fought for some glorious cause. They're just human sacrifice.
I don't know. I can taste a little bit of the backhandedness of that when they do it. They always close it by, their friend says.
No, that's way too esoteric. You think your average schmuck out there gets that? No.
I think people.
So maybe we're getting that, but the average Joe out there is saying, "Oh, well, isn't that something? They died for their country." Yeah, right. Elmer says Princess Diana. We'll get back to you, Diana. Excellent choice, Elmer, and he also Pat Tillman. You got those two on there?
We got them.
Now, what the hell is that thing called?
Princess Di.
It's called Princess Di?
Is gone.
Is gone. There's Prince Harry again. Boy, oh boy, what a piece.
Don't get in that Mercedes.
No.
Princess Di, we're begging, please. Paparazzi's coming after you. You're gonna crash into a wall. No more rich guy for you.
I'm dying over here.
Princess Di is gone.
Oh, Princess Di.
Princess Di is gone.
She's really gone.
Went into a tunnel. Hello, wall.
An extremely poor taste, but I love it. It's 109 at 560 WQM. Speaking of women, Afghan women still in chains under Karzai. How do you like that? And here I thought that the Afghans, they had that wonderful, glorious election.
Freedom is on the march.
Days away now. What?
Freedom is on the march.
Freedom is on the march. There's no question about that.
Men in chains, just the way I like them.
No, Jennifer, these are women in chains. Sharifa Dadakuta's 2-year-old daughter, Krishma in Tokhas, has never seen the outside world. She was born in prison. She'll be at least 3 when she's released. Her mother's crime, running away from home. Kabul Central Jail holds female prisoners whose only crime is the refusal to be second-class citizens. Sharifa was 12 years old when she was forced to marry a 30-year-old man.
About 30, man!
He immediately began prostituting her, but Sharifa was too ashamed to tell her family, and he would beat her if she complained. After 3 years, she gained enough confidence to run away, but was caught 15 minutes from her parents' house by the Taliban. As a woman traveling on her own, accompanied by a male family member, she was committing a crime. When the Taliban realized she was also fleeing her husband, she was instantly imprisoned. She was released after 6 months, but forced to return to her prison. A year later, she fled and was caught again, receiving a longer sentence, only this time her captors have been installed by the American-led coalition. In President Hamid Karzai's Afghanistan, women are still imprisoned for running away from home. And it goes on. The story's on our website. Yep, the American news media, they don't want to give you the real stuff. If you want to know what's going on in the world, look on the Internet, okay? Scour it. And especially for, websites from, Europe, anywhere outside of the USA. Or a few of our ultra-left-wing websites that actually tell a little bit of what's really going on. You really believe this liberal crap? Yes. Yes, I do. I don't believe it. I know it. I know it to be true. Just like you know Jesus walked the earth.
Jesus Christ.
In sackcloth and ashes.
That was Job.
No, it was Jesus. Who's with a J?
Job.
Oh.
Job Mama.
I thought it was Joseph. His name was, he autographed that toilet tank.
That's right.
Yeah, he said, thanks a lot, everybody, for crucifying my son. Who's the Savior.
To the stepson.
Somebody step on him?
Roman.
How do you step on somebody when he's nailed that high up on the cross like that?
First you nail him down.
Speaking of Randy Cross, here's Johnny. Now let me ask you something. When he came back, when this whole resurrection thing, did they say, here's Jesus? Did they do that?
Yeah, they did.
Wouldn't that have been great? If only Ed McMahon would have been there in those days, probably more people would believe that. Of course, look at how many people believe it now. All these 2,000 years later, they're still believing them fairy tales.
Doubting Thomas was able to stick his fingers in the holes.
Yeah. Well,
gay.
Probably Jeff Garcia knows something about that, even though we don't have that bit. Let's see. Who best fits this description? Someone who became more popular after they croaked. Jesus, 243. Holy cow. Jesus Christ. Are you here again? James Dean, 44. Elvis, 42. Nicole Simpson, 40. We hate you, O.J. Now, why couldn't it have been O.J. instead of Johnny Carson, huh? Here's O.J. Wouldn't that have been great? We'd have been having a party now. We want you to die, O.J. Not just an ordinary pedestrian death. We hope you get run over by a Mack truck.
I will take anything.
And, of course, if you get run over by a Mack truck, you could die, real suddenly. Now, we're talking about, long, slow, and painful. So, maybe just sever some artery or something, just bleed to death out on the highway, maybe out on Sunset and Kendall.
Colon cancer.
That would be good. Elvis, 42. So James Dean is past Elvis. I think that's appropriate. Nicole Simpson, 40. Bruce Lee, 18. Boy, it's a big drop down after that. Marilyn Monroe, 17. Tupac, 15. Kurt Cobain, 15. JFK, 13. Jim Morrison's got 12. Vincent Van Gogh, 11. Check the spelling. Bob Marley, 8. By the way, I don't want to get into a thing on the air, but since I have no other way of doing it, this thing with Eric and these stories on the website, I want to apologize to the audience. The fact Josh is having problems with Bell South or whatever, and so his home computer is kaput. Am I right?
It's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's a piece of crap, and he can't, just like George was having for months and years. And so as a result, I've spent a lot of time, I guess it's just practice makes perfect is the idea. So I email all these great news stories, and I spend 2 hours every day, even on a weekend, to send these stories. Then I find out that they never get on there because Josh can't get them at home. And Eric, of course, he's busy chasing around our beaded curtain thing, changing the whole deal around. As opposed to, coming up with some way that we can get those on there on a weekend when I send them. So anybody that thought, boy, you have the same crap on here all weekend. No, we really don't. Well, we do, but we don't. You know what I'm saying? We do, but we don't.
What are you saying?
Like Jesus. He was the Savior, but he wasn't. See what I'm saying?
No, I mean, they've been going up on the weekends.
No.
Yeah, but just a little... Okay.
No. Trust me. The stories... I didn't even bother sending any for yesterday because there was no point, because the ones I sent for Saturday never made it on there.
You sent one, right?
No, I did not. Well, now, I would send one story?
You did.
You are dreaming, mister. You must be hallucinating. You must have really had a wild weekend. Would you ever believe that I would send one story?
I called Eric just to make sure, and we were boggled as well.
For Saturday or for yesterday?
For yesterday.
I didn't send any for yesterday because Saturday's never made. I sent a dozen for Saturday, never got on there. So I thought to myself, well, first of all, how could I send it anyway? Because I didn't have any power here all day, schmuck.
Hey, he can prove it, Mr. Alzheimer's.
Yeah. How do you like that?
He's got your email.
I got 5 million witnesses here. We didn't have no power. So how was I going to send you stories?
No,
huh?
I mean, Josh can prove it. He's got your email time and date coded.
Right. Pull it up.
Yeah, pull this.
Pull it out.
1:15, please don't, at 560 WQM. What was your New Year's resolution? Was it to lose some of that big fat flab? If you're sitting at your desk right now or in your car and you feel like unbuckling your belt because June is busting out all over, or maybe you are, maybe undoing that top button on your skirt like I've done. Maybe you've already done it. Balance for Life will deliver to you 5 meals a day, every day, based on the wildly popular Zone Diet, invented by Dr. Brian Aberi Sears. 5 meals a day and you still lose weight. 5 feedings a day should satisfy even the fattest of the fat. And the best part of the deal is Balance for Life is the only meal delivery company to offer menu choices. Just go to balanceforlife.com on the web and check it out. Indulge yourself with all kinds of delicious goodies. Stay off of the Baba Ganoush and dig into these real good time. Blueberry pancakes, guilt-free cheesecake, yellowfin tuna burger, grilled filet with parsley potatoes, which I do like parsley potatoes, and even a chicken and veggie pizza. And all you snowbirds in South Florida for the wintertime, check it out, too, because they can tailor the meals to your specific needs, too. If you don't think you're overweight, well, maybe you're fooling yourself. Just take the simple BMI test at balanceforlife.com. Go to the bottom of the page and click on Body Mass Index. If your score is over 25, you are chubby, man. You need Balance for Life. So instead of waiting, if you really want to lose the weight this year, pull over to the side of the road, put that pen down right now, and get on the horn and the phone, too. Call Balance for Life, 866-225-4543. That's 1-866-225-4543, or like I said on the web, balanceforlife.com.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Newt Gingrich does the hanky-panky. Newt Gingrich has a stanky-wanky. Newt Gingrich does the hanky-panky. Newt Gingrich does the hanky-panky. We thought he only spanked his monkey. They tease Bill Clinton about it all the time. Yeah. They call him womanizing low-life slime. But Newtie's chasing girlies all around the desk. That's why his shirt's undone, his hair is a mess. Who would have thought, whoever would have thought that?
All right, here we go, on the desk, let's go.
Mr. Speaker, the committee would like to know, are those high heel shoes sticking out from under your desk? I see. Okay, then, the committee sees no impropriety here, and there'll be no further investigation.
I saw him working on his pickup line.
Oh, God.
You come here often, baby, what's your sign? A pretty young Republican and all alone. Hey, pretty baby, can I give you the phone? Who would have thought, I never would have thought that.
Come here, baby, and meet the junior secret of the house.
Newt Gingrich does the hanky-panky. Newt Gingrich does the hanky-panky. Newt Gingrich has a hanky-wanky. Newt Gingrich does the hanky-panky. We thought he only spanked his monkey.
120 at 560 WQM. A Romanian tabloid says it's fired a reporter for making up a story about a couple who named their son Yahoo as a sign of gratitude for meeting over the Internet. Do you hear this story?
Not yet.
Well, it turns out that don't hear it because it's a hoax. Not that there's any hoaxes on the Internet. You don't understand that?
None.
It could never happen. He made up the story that they named their son
Yahoo! Oh!
Earlier this month, major Bucharest daily Libertatea published a story saying 2 Romanians had named their baby Yahoo and printed a picture of his birth certificate. The news was widely picked up on the Internets. As your president would say, the Internets. It was the reporter's child birth certificate which he modified, said Simona Ionescu. Oh, that's right. We had that on the other day, remember? Because I couldn't pronounce the name then right either. We fired him. We fired the guy because he made it up. She said Ian Garnot, who had worked for the paper for several years, had admitted inventing the story to look good. If it were real, it would have been a good story indeed, Ionescu said. Garnot was not available for comment. Well, who cares? That's kind of a cute idea. Must be really boring there, huh?
Must be.
Since Bella died, it just ain't the same as it used to be in
Oh,
Romania.
we can't talk.
What do you mean?
Here, in this town.
About boredom?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'd rather go through the snowstorm again. I'd rather go through the 12 hours without power yesterday and my frozen ankles. See, I still don't wear socks. I can't wear socks.
Right.
Because being diabetic, they mess up my ankles and cut off the circulation and stuff like that. So no matter how cold it is, I don't wear socks. So now, like, my ankles and, like, it's, like, all reddish, you know, like maybe I got, like, freezer burn on my feet, you know?
I see.
You know what I'm talking about? You ever had that?
Yeah, well, don't do that.
Don't do what? No, I'd rather have that. I mean, that's just a temporary thing. You smear some stuff on there. They're okay. They're not. I didn't get, like, frostbite yet. But I'd rather have that than like cut off all the circulation in my ankles.
Well,
See what I'm
they
saying?
have very warm boots that have nice linings. You don't have to wear socks.
Oh, get boots! Get out of here, man!
Yeah, I'm not talking about like big snow, tundra boots.
Yeah,
just
boots?
nice boots, like fleece-lined boots. They'll feel good on your feet and they'll be warm.
You know what kind of person? I can't say it because Joyce will get upset. But let me give you a clue. The kind of person. You know that cat food, Puss in Boots?
Yeah.
That's the kind of person that wears boots.
Well, if you have
I'm
to
not
walk
talking about
around
regular, ordinary boots. I'm talking about in the wintertime to avoid like getting a little snow in your shoe or something like that. What's wrong with snow in your shoe?
Nothing if you're not going to be out there a while.
Right. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
I got one for the poll. Is it a long wait, or should I just give it to you?
And you're on right now, man. And you can't get quicker than that.
Uncle Neil, it's a sad one, but Anne Frank.
Anne Frank. Yeah, very good one. Good choice. And it's great. And Prince Harry, by the way, sends his regards. Thanks.
Much. Have fun in Toronto.
Yeah. Anne Frank. Who the hell ever heard of Anne Frank? And when she was up there, that would be in very bad taste if I played that. What is that thing called?
Very funny bit called Jews in the Attic.
Oh, no.
In the tradition of the disaster musical comes Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jews in the Attic, the Anne Frank Diaries. You'll leave the theater humming those catchy tunes like No More Beans, I'm writing all this down, Don't Flush Till the Nazis Go Home, I'd turn in my parents for a stick of deodorant. It's Jews in the Attic, the Anne Frank Diaries. CD available now.
Well, look at that. 10 to 2. I guess Muff must be sending me some of these ratings breakdowns now. Men 25-54, we had a 9.6 year, and this is 10 to 2.
Right.
CMQ-FM was second, 6.9. IOD was third, 6.3. In spite of that humongous December they had, which when the entire winter book is done, it's going to take 3 months for that to happen. But when that's done, that December is going to drop off and disappear. So unless they can get a bunch more right-wingers to wire their diaries like they did in December, that's going to vanish. Just smear it with some vanishing cream. Well, that's pretty interesting. Did you see it?
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. Now, let's see. What about Waxy? How about that Waxy, man? They're kicking ass. Well, let's go down the list, okay? Hot 105, Big, 4-8. That must because that great lead-in, Paul and Old Ron. XDJ, Life, Coast, EDR, MIB, Power. This is Men 25-54, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. WMXJ, Magic, 3.6. Not bad. They kind of hang around the same number till all of us die. Love 94. Oh, geez. Kiss and Party. Oh, brother. The party's over, Disney. I'm not even going to waste my time playing that thing. Zeta's got a tutu.
Right.
You believe that?
What kind of a name is that for
Once worn by Kimba. A big fat tutu. Once worn by big fat Kimba. They don't come más macho than Kimba. AMR, Radio Amor, 19 waves. INZAM, 1.7. That's the goddess, of course. And Al Franken and Catherine Lanford with a 1.7 share, kicking ass. RMA, Radio Romancia, Suave, Radio Mambi, 1.5, pretty weak. Y100, 1.5. No, they're too old for them. Radio Ritmo is down there, 1.3. Waxy, a 1.2. Oh, my God. How do you like that?
Tied for 25th.
Tied for number 25. Tied with WQBA, no speaking English key, and just... Oh, I see. After that, KAT with a 0.2 and Radio FA 0.1. WACC, WMBM, and WNAMA, that's Mr. Ego Station, have a, let me say it again. Wow. And guess who doesn't even show up 10 to 2? Bill O'Reilly, the O'Reilly Factor. Oh, my God. WFTL, 850 on the dial. Does he show it all?
No.
Does he have like a 0.1?
No.
Nothing. Maybe his big hour is 2 to 3. Oh, man. The O'Reilly Factor, my big fat ass. Oh, brother. Isn't that something? Talk about a hype job. And by the way, in case you missed it,
I'm dying on
Still dead. 128 at 560 WQAM. Hey, if you earned less than $50,000 last year, you aren't making even chicken feed, man. You better get with it. If you did, then it's time for a career change. That's our suggestion. Pick up that phone right now and call the good folks at Fast Train, toll-free 1-866-FAST-TRAIN, because these folks can have you trained and ready for a new high-paying career in just 4 short months. Fast Train offers high-demand, high-pay career training. If you love computers, ever thought of becoming a computer network professional, here's your chance to do it. Call Fast Train, get on board. Call 1-866-FAST-TRAIN. As Chris Moore would say, hot dog, hop aboard. The demand for computer professionals is an all-time high, and Fast Train, like I said, can have you trained and ready for that new money-making career in just 4 short months. Fast Train's got locations all over town, so there's bound to be one nearby you. They're in Kendall, Miami, Pembroke Pines, and Fort Lauderdale. And Fast Train even offers job placement and financial aid for those who qualify, too. Day, evening, weekend classes forming at Fast Train right now. So if you're sick and tired of working for peanuts, here's your chance to get out of that dead end. Call Fast Train today, 1-866-FAST-TRAIN.
You're listening to Neil Rogers. Correct. On 560 QAM.
I like Neil's poll.
It's widely believed that they fear some reports that might be coming out accusing one or the other of cheating, or it might get ugly in the press. So they wanted to come out unified and say we've decided to separate and we're friends and respect our privacy.
They were through. Jennifer and Brad Pitt knew. Who'd have thunk? Am I drunk? 'Cause I thought that they'd last forever. Who's to blame? Why they split? Did Angelina steal Mr. Pitt? Those pouty lips, those shapely hips. Man, I thought that they'd last forever. Jen and Brad say that they still remain friends. But that's what they all say. When a relationship ends, that'll change. Wait and see. When they appear before Judge Judy, she'll say he had a stink. He'll claim she liked to drink. 'Cause when it's over and all said and done, each of them will blame the other. That's when it gets fun.
That's what they say. 132 at 560 WQAM. Happy Monday to you. See, we're not going to get depressed and morbid just because a bunch of silly Brits say, oh, it's the most depressing day of the year. It's just fine, okay? Yeah.
Oh, we're fine.
Silly bastards. Exactly. Let's see. Here's the hour by hour with the shower of power. 5 to 6 a.m. This is the entire rating period, yes. 5 to 6 a.m., a little on the weak side. Who the hell was on then? Sporting News Radio? Oh, no, huh?
Right, wasn't it? Before Howard?
We're talking October, November, and Diciembre, right?
Right.
So with Sporting News Radio with a 1.6 share. Pretty weak. Very weak. Then, look at that. Stern comes on there at 6 o'clock. A 7 point.
Oh!
Nice going, Howie. Thanks, by the way, for bringing some people back to AM Radio, Howie, before you left. Then in the 7 o'clock hour, Stern had a 7.7 share. In the 8 o'clock hour, 6.5. 9 o'clock, 6.1. 10 o'clock hour, we come on sometime in here, 8.6.
Oh!
11 o'clock hour, 10.3.
Oh!
Noon hour, 9.8.
Oh!
1 to 2 hour, 9.8.
Oh!
2 to 3, look at the Mad Dog there, 9.4.
Oh!
3 o'clock hour, 8.4.
Oh!
And before we go to Hank's 4 to 7, keep in mind that somebody was on there for 6 weeks while Hank was getting that ill-advised suspension that we paid a price for. It wasn't just because IOD got all the Wire Diaries in December and we got screwed in December. If just Hank would have been on the whole rating period during the afternoon, we'd have made the full bonus for, you know what I'm saying? Us and the station.
Mm-hmm. Are you second-guessing people again?
Yes, because Mad Dog's got a 9.4 and an 8.4, and then at 4, it's a 5 point.
Oh!
5 o'clock, 4.9, 6 o'clock, 3.5, and then after that, in the tank. But how do you like that? How do you like our numbers there, huh? 8.6, 10.3, 9.8, 9.8.
We'll settle for these mediocre numbers.
Yeah, we'll settle for these mediocre numbers. How do you like that? The overrated Neil Rogers show? Right. That kicked some serious, fat, ugly ass. With these numbers, like I told you, I'm just preparing you for because, when you're a student of this crap, when we lose October, we're going to be settled with that grotesque December. And it wasn't like September. It was not good. Weak. See what I'm saying?
Right. Still.
But still, eventually, when a whole winter book comes out, that December will drop off right at the end. Just like that. Drop right off, like a zip. Right on the flow. So there's some pretty interesting numbers there. So Stern was doing fine, but what can I say? What can we say about that whole deal, huh? The whole deal was just ill-fated from the beginning. And in spite of the fact, well, I don't want to go through it. 5670560, what's the point, huh? Beating a dead horse. Don't forget, Ed McMahon is going to be on with Larry King tonight, a couple of old farts. Make me feel like a teenager, those two. I guess probably Ed would have been on the panel last night, but they probably had to sober him up first. WQAM, hello.
Yes, how you doing, Neil?
Pretty good, Pally.
Yes, I go back to the days before Marilyn O'Hare and Alice Rantel.
Marilyn O'Hare, rest in pieces, right.
And I remember seeing you like at the donut shop and Sonny's cod shop on Sunset Strip.
Sonny's cod shop?
Yes, on Sunset Strip in University.
Never heard of it.
Oh. Well, anyway, I got a couple of good ones for you.
Okay.
Rex Trailer the cowboy and Major Mud the astronaut. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Who?
Just forget about it.
Oh, okay.
WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Neil, how you doing? I got two for the poll.
Okay.
It is Lacey Peterson
Yeah.
and Bobo the Tiger.
Okay, I think the last two were calling from the same ship, weren't they? Like right on the edge of the stairs?
The same bar.
Right. 56705, and you notice they all have a pair. They all have a pair. Which best fits? Who best fits? Not what 20 people you know. Not list all the dead people you can start from A to Z, but who best fits the description. But that's okay. We're in the waning moments anyway, are we not? Waning?
Yeah, it's waning.
Now, if I looked at these numbers and I thought to myself, we might lose the Mad Dog, I think I would get on my hands and knees, just like they just about did with me. Oh, please don't send those checks back. Please, can't we get this deal done? I would do the same thing. If I were Joyce, I'd be in there on my knees at 2:01 this afternoon, actually at 1:59 before that show starts, and licking Mad Dog's knees and ankles and anything they could, and saying, can't we please, whatever you want, we'll word it however you want, and we'll even up the ante a little bit, and please don't go nowheres, please. That's what I would be doing right now. And then tomorrow at 6:58 in the morning, I'd be doing the same thing with old Fatso there. That's right. I'd be on my knees with a humper is what I would be doing. Oh, not these people. They just keep playing fast and loose with everybody's emotions, keep making you feel like you're unwanted, like you're some kind of swill. Oh, what do you want? You only had a 9 share. My God, it's just amazing how any outfit can be as successful as this one in spite of the management and ownership. It's like they want to throw up like 8,500 roadblocks every time you come out of the box. Here's a whole bunch of roadblocks to see if we can't knock your ass down. WQAM, hello.
Yes, hi Neil. Congratulations on the ratings news. I think it's wonderful for you. I hope
kicked some big fat ass just like the Patriots did in Pittsburgh last night.
I got a question for you. Do they give you bonuses? Are you going to get paid more as a result of this?
Sure.
I hope you do, because, the proof's in the pudding, baby, and you kicked everybody else's you-know-what, didn't you?
Ass, yeah.
Yeah, you kicked their ass.
Just ask me, I'll tell you.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you one other question, Neil.
Yeah.
What the hell happened to Howard Stern? Why is he not on your radio station anymore?
You'd have to ask our management two things. Why they put him out in the first place so they could chop this show up like meat in a meat grinder with all those dumps in there. And number two, why they took him off. Only they can answer the question. Don't look at me.
What kind of incompetence is running rampant over there?
Now you're getting warm, man. Now you got your thumb right on it, baby. Incompetence.
Anyway, Neil, I'm not going to go negative today. I'm just going to say congratulations. It's wonderful news. Keep up the great work, and congratulations to your team over there. You're doing a great job.
Thanks a lot, Pally. We are. We're doing it. We're kicking ass in spite of our lady manager. We call her Miss Management. That's Joyce. Just call her Miss Management. Greg, he ain't the manager anymore in name only. He's impotent. All the Viagra, all the Cialis in the world ain't going to butch him up again. She's the one that's wearing the pants in this family now. Joyce, over in Naples, man, she's goose-stepping through the place. She's like creating a forest fire that's just running rampant out of control. You know what that forest fire is doing? What? Flaming! WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil. I was wondering when the...
Yeah, it is. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
And that phone of his always has that same sound to it, too. Yes, sir.
Retarded.
Yeah, that's the sound. Yes.
Right, yeah, I want to talk to Neil.
Speaking.
Oh, hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Can we do dead monsters?
Dead monsters, such as?
King Kong.
King Kong, he's still dead. Okay,
King Kong lives.
How about Bobby Boris Pickett with the Monster Mash? Dead monsters. Oh, God.
They're all dead.
20 till 2 at 560 WQM. Been pretty interesting day. I have no idea what went on here. I'm incoherent from yesterday. But amazingly not sick. I don't understand that. Not that I want to be sick, but when you fully you know what that's like, you know?
I know. You're all
when
ready
you're
for
positive that you're going to be sick and have pneumonia and just, and I'm not. I don't know what it is. I'm sick of Joyce, I'll tell you that. The main man, Anthony Caliendo, at Acceptance Capital Mortgage, says it's time for New Year's resolutions. Like most Americans, pay off your credit cards, lowering your debt, cutting your mortgage payments, pulling out cash. When in doubt, pull it out. And investing in real estate are at the top of that list. South Florida is one of the hottest real estate markets in the U.S., so why keep so much equity in your house or pay those high interest rates? The main man's New Year's resolution is to give back to the community, and this year they've partnered with Kids in Distress. With a track record of 25 years of helping over 5,000 abused and neglected children each year, Acceptance Capital is donating a portion of all commissions on every closed loan to this great cause. And if you're in the mortgage business, the main man is always looking for brokers for his 4 convenient locations, too. So call the main man, Anthony Caliendo, toll-free. It's 1-888-483-LOAN. That's 1-888-483-LOAN, or go to themainman.com and fill out that application right online. Call him today, 1-888-483-LOAN.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560 QAM.
Jesus land, Christian Paar, where you won't go to hell when you die. Woo! Jesus land, Christian Paar, where ignorance and hatred thrive. Woo! Ride the holy roller around. Woo! The only roller coaster that never goes down. Woo! Riding on the cannon where the hand of God reaches through the clouds to rip all your clothes off. Woo! Bang, 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 shoot the bright little Jews. Woo! Bang, 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 the fortune doctors too. Woo! Taking fake New York for fun to eat, while getting bundled by a cartoon character priest.
Our Father that art in heaven, help us answer all voices in our head. We got our Nikes on, we're waving our snakes for Armageddon. When you come to take us away.
March, march in a bush Nazi parade. Woo! Cool up with a goofy great Guyana Kool-Aid. Woo! Ignorant pricks who want to get their kicks. We put the fun in fundamentalists. Woo! Pray to the Lord to forgive you with your choice of flushly appointed views. Woo! Head on down to the revival show. There's Billy, heroin, drink and blow. Woo! Jesus land, Christian Paar, where you won't go to hell when you die. Oh! Woo! Jesus land, Christian Paar, where ignorance and hatred thrive.
All the Bubba Mices all the time, baby. 145 at 560 WQAM. And even if you don't know what that means, you do. You know what it means. You know what I mean?
I know
you know what I mean. Senate Democrats put off a vote on White House counsel Alberto Gonzales' nomination to be Attorney General, complaining he had provided evasive answers to questions about torture and the mistreatment of prisoners, but Gonzales' most surprising answer may have come on a different subject: his role in helping President Bush escape jury duty in a drunken driving case involving a dancer at an Austin strip club in 1996. The judge and other lawyers in the case last week disputed a written account of the matter provided by Gonzales to the Senate Judiciary Committee. It is a complete misrepresentation, said David Wahlberg, attorney for the dancer, about Gonzales' account. Bush's summons to serve as a juror in the drunken driving case was, in retrospect, a fateful moment in his political career. By getting excused from jury duty, he was able to avoid questions that would have required him to disclose his own 1976 arrest and conviction for driving under the influence of alcohol in Kennebunkport, Maine, an incident that didn't become public until the closing days of the 2000 campaign. Bush, who had publicly declared his willingness to serve, had left blank on his jury questionnaire whether he'd ever been accused in a criminal case. Asked by Senator Patrick Leahy to describe in detail the only court appearance he ever made on behalf of Bush, Gonzales, who was then chief counsel to the Texas governor, wrote that he accompanied Bush the day he went to court prepared to serve on a jury. While there, Gonzales wrote, he observed the defense lawyer make a motion to strike Bush from the jury panel, to which the prosecutor did not object. Asked by the judge whether he had any views on this, Gonzales recalled, he said he did not. While Gonzales' account tracks with the official court transcript, it leaves out a key part of what happened that day, according to Travis County Judge David Crane. In separate interviews, Crane, along with Wahlberg and prosecutor John Lastovica, told Newsweek that before the case began, Gonzales asked to have an off-the-record conference in the judge's chamber. Gonzales then asked Crane to consider striking Bush from the jury, making the novel conflict of interest argument that the Texas governor might one day be asked to pardon the defendant who worked at an Austin nightclub called Sugar's, the judge said. He, Gonzales, raised the issue, Crane said. Crane said he found Gonzales' argument surprising, since it was extremely unlikely that a drunken driving conviction would ever lead to a pardon petition to Bush. But out of deference to the governor, Crane said, the other lawyers went along. Wahlberg said he agreed to make the motion striking Bush because he didn't want the hardline governor on his jury anyway. But there was little doubt among the participants as to what was going on. In public, they were making a big show of how he was prepared to serve, said Crane. In the back room, they were trying to get him off, so to speak. Gee, sounds just like the National Guard thing, huh? Gonzales last week refused to waver. Judge Gonzales has no recollection of requesting a meeting in chambers, a senior White House official said, adding that while Gonzales did recall that Bush's potential conflict was discussed, he said he never requested that Bush be excused. His answer to the Senate's question is accurate, the official said. And, of course, we know that's a big freaking lie. But, you know what they say, birds of a feather lie together. Right, Greg? 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless lines. So what do you think of these numbers? Pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah,
impressive. Huh?
I'll get
impressive. And what a shame that we got screwed out of the full bonus, an extra, whatever, a couple of shekels there. I bet you Josh lost most of his bonus money because of Mo. Yeah. Oh, you don't get a big bonus for the ratings, Josh? I guess you didn't want to tell him that this is the rating book you're buying him, that big TV.
Yeah, I was gonna.
It was supposed to be a surprise. Sorry I spoiled it for you, okay?
It's all right. I was going to remind him.
I'm sorry.
Here's Johnny.
Hey! I still can't get over the fact that I had that story here on Friday, man. It really scares me because a lot of times when I talk about somebody is going to be dead, they're dead. It's the power, baby. I got the power, Joyce. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless lines. Just the ass end of this storm is just blowing out through. Not really a storm, like a system, you know what I mean? Like a system. But it's developing a storm as it goes over the west end of Lake Ontario and then toward Buffalo and Angola and Hamburg and Depew and Johnstown and Elmira and Palmyra and Canandaigua and Geneva and Binghamton and Endicott and Ithaca. How do you like that?
Wow.
Upstate, especially Buffalo, man. Is there a worse place in the world than Buffalo?
No.
Even Bangladesh has got to be light years ahead, you know? Anything. Buffalo is just, they keep saying, such a place as the anus or the armpit of the universe. If that's the case, then what is Buffalo? Huh?
I don't want to say it. We can't say it.
Can't say it.
As a matter of fact.
Can't even say it. I think it has something to do with...
Rectum.
WQAM, hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil. I got two more for you, Paul.
Two dos mas, yes?
How about Ray Charles and... Is Rosie O'Donnell, did she die?
Not yet, but we'll let you know. That's a good one to work on next weekend. Ray Charles is not bigger after death than he was in life. That's ridiculous. On the face of it, that's just ridiculous. And a man in your position, sir, can't afford to look like a jackass. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Uncle Neil.
Yes.
I checked that Democracy for America website. You had me thinking about that Pennsylvania Avenue, and it's on there. If you have George or Josh look, just... the Pennsylvania Avenue thing, but if you look on there, it is legit.
Right. I knew it's legit because
you know what? I never even thought of it when I looked at that Pennsylvania Avenue. I laughed to myself. I said, "Holy Schmidt!" I better check it out.
You think there's some irony in there?
Absolutely. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow.
Okay. Have a good time. Say hi to Howie. Thanks. Say hi to our good buddy Howie Dean, baby. He the man. We love you, Howie. They did the same thing to him that they do so very well. They made him out to be a wacko. He's a hothead. He's irresponsible. He's a wacko, and they did a very good job. And then they blew him off. And then after the whole thing was over, Karl Rove says, "Oh yeah, we were scared to death of Dean. We wanted Kerry to be the opponent, and we were scared to death. Dean would have won by 10 points. He'd have kicked his ass because you see, Dean didn't have that one. He didn't have the one liability that Kerry had, and that was on the war issue." He was against it from the beginning. Right. He had the balls to come out and tell it like it is. Sure. He had the balls to come out and finger Tom Ridge for the lying piece of phony crap that he was. And, of course, there was Jew Lieberman. Oh, I know Tom Ridge. I'll never forget that Sunday, man, a Sunday that will live in infamy, that the networks and the schlepped-out Jew Lieberman. You talk about sleeping with the enemy.
Right.
He did a great job for them in 2000. He did a great job again for them in 2004. And the more I see him, the more I despise him, Jew Lieberman. I hope he doesn't eat any bad kishki this week. Well, that would be bad, wouldn't it?
You're not floating something out there, are you?
Yeah. Hey, Jew Lieberman. Yeah. Here's Joe.
I'm dying over here.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be a shame? 152 at 5. See, now this sounds so evil, man, wishing for people to die. But now that I mention it, what?
Nothing. No
law against not necessarily die. Just have like some bad case of heartburn, you know. that even Rolaids wouldn't cure. Agita. Just perpetual agita the rest of his life for Drew Lieberman for all he's done to hurt us, to hurt the cause. And, of course, keep in mind, he's another one always apologizing for and supporting this illegal, the so-called war. Mm-hmm. Which Election Day is a week from yesterday. All we can say is...
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. They're dying over there, but it's they're going to have a big turnout. How many people are going to vote next Sunday?
About 30, man.
It's easier to fix it that way when a very small turnout. You know, the Emerald Coast wants to wish all you a Happy New Year. It's not too late to do that, and is proud to announce you can still enjoy Lobster Fest every Friday through Sunday. The Emerald Coast is Florida's numero uno Asian gourmet buffet. Not just my opinion, which of course it has been for a long time, but also as rated by Zagat Restaurant Review. In addition to Emerald Coast all-you-can-eat buffet, now you can enjoy succulent, delicious, juicy Maine lobster served Thermidor style. You can start out your mouth-watering experience, your big feast, with a choice of 6 different soups, or sample all of them if you like. And then sample dozens of Oriental treats, including fried snapper in a Thai sweet and sour sauce, and an old favorite, whole roasted duck in a hoisin sauce. Also enjoy their brand new sushi bar featuring over 30 different items. And after shoving all of this fresh, delicious, good stuff down your throat, Emerald Coast Out of This World dessert bar features tiramisu, ice cream with all your favorite toppings, and that new and exciting state-of-the-art chocolate fondue fountain. Just take a nice chocolate shower under that fountain. Don't forget, the Emerald Coast promotes healthy living, too, cooking all their fine cuisine with cholesterol-free canola oil. No MSG added either. The Emerald Coast, 3 locations for you. They're in Sunrise, Sunny Isles Beach, and Pembroke Pines. For reservations, call 954-572-3822. 954-572-3822. It is absolutely unbelievable. The Emerald Coast Chinese Buffet.
You're listening to Neil Rogers exclusively on 560.
Absolutely.
Oh! My name is Barry. Sing like a fairy. I write bad songs about romance while I'm wearing spandex pants. I'm kind of shrimpy. My songs are wimpy. I had a series of big hits, but that was back in '76. Now no one wants to hear. They only laugh and sneer. They won't admit that they own my albums, cause my songs are queer. Got a nose shaped like a banana. My 2 fans both live in Montana. Got a nose shaped like a banana. Up my nose you can fit half of the city of Atlanta. I write the song. I've got a honker the size of Yonkers. When I get a stuffed up nose, I'd be Tristan in a hose. But now I'm on the case. My life is back in place. And so I'm singing again and sticking my schnoz in your face. Got a nose shape like a banana. My 2 fans both live in Montana. Got a nose shape like a banana. Up my nose you could fit half of the city of Atlanta. I write the song.
Rock solid.
Okay, 159. Mad Dog's going to be up next, and Mo Howard David at 4. Geldy at 7. Brian in Biscayne Park says, I almost choked on my sandwich when I heard you say Stugotz. Pronounced exactly the same. In Italian, Neapolitan dialect means crotch in hand. Well, wait till he finds out what Stugotz's real name is. His name is John Wiener. Am I making that up? If I'm lying, I'm dying.
No.
If Greg's lying, we're all dying. So there you go, Brian. Okay, so ponder on that a little while, okay? Let's see. Jesus is leading, more popular after death than during life. Jesus, 285. Elvis, 52. And Nicole Simpson's got 50. James Dean, 47. A great battle for second place.
Bye, bye, bye!